somehow Air-Deraan returned.
That's right. From the depths of Voita's laptop, we have crawled from the abyss and returned to your ears.
Yes, after suffering our first lost episode, we're freaking back. And who is back? None other than Freddy.
Me and Voita.
That's me.
That's you.
It is me.
No, me.
Oh,
you.
Of course I know him. He's me.
But talking about cursed things, apart from that intro, we're going to be delving into the Star Wars Iceberg meme. So the deeper you go, the weirder the deeper lore, deeper theories are.
Yeah, and we're bloody putting our tinfoil hats on because we're going in friggin' guns a-blazing. We're going to pick it all apart and see exactly what is right and what is true. Spoiler alert, it's everything.
Everything. By the end of this episode, you and us, we're all going to become like Lucy in the film Lucy, using like 100% of our brain power, because we're going to gain like billion IQ from all of this profound knowledge.
Yeah, like 100 level IQ play, that's baby garbage.
Yeah.
Like, we are bloody unlocking our full potential here.
But before we do that, we have an announcement which we wanted to cover in a new segment of our podcast.
Yeah, this is going to be a semi-regular segment of our podcast that we can't call anything else than News Gunray. Let me reiterate in case saying it in unison made it incomprehensible. It is in fact News Gunray.
After the lost episode.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Newt Gunray's Spunkstone.
I didn't even want to know ye.
Yeah, but something I do want to know is this announcement. So today Del Rey Books announced a Star Wars Visions book entitled Ronin.
Yeah.
And it's going to be connected to one of the episodes of Visions.
Which makes it quite interesting. Does that mean that Visions, even though they are going to be in a anime experimental styles, does that mean they're all canon? Does that mean it's going to be a little pocket of reality with a lot of stuff in it?
I think it's they're all going to be is a canon anthology. Any of you Halo fans, there was this anime version of Halo called Halo, I want to say Legends, which was pretty cool, and that was all anime.
Does that mean it's not canon anymore?
Oh no, it was and is still canon. No matter what people say, including the Dragon Ball Z parody episode. Actually, no, to be fair.
That's real?
Yeah, there is a Dragon Ball Z parody, but that's not canon. But I think the main character exists, but obviously it's not the same.
I mean, if Legends of the Freemaker, the Lego TV show, can be semi-canon, why not the anime stuff? I mean, Resistance already is a pretty anime-inspired. To an extent, so is Clone Wars. But so why not go full hog with some of it?
Yeah, I think Visions is just going to be random snapshots of the past, of maybe the future, maybe the present, just some random interesting stories. Yeah. And so as we said, the title of this book is called Ronin. And if you don't know, a Ronin is a traveling samurai, isn't it?
Samurai without a master.
Yeah.
Which probably means something like a traveling Jedi, a Jedi that became disassociated from the temples. Or the Order, rather?
Yeah, maybe. Or they just don't have a base. They are not based in the Jedi Temple. I think, in Legends, the Great Force War, which is the first conflict between Dark Jedi and Jedi, back when it was the Jedi Order, which is kind of a bit dumb, but whatever.
Yeah, the J''DAI.
Yeah, but whatever. Technically it's different to the Jedi. But that was heavily inspired by Japan and China as well. And so Ronin might be tied to that era of the Jedi, possibly.
Or it could be tied to the High Republic era,
Ooh.
where it was customary for many Jedi to not quite sever their ties to the Order, but kind of go a little bit more independent.
Yeah.
I don't quite remember what the name for them was, like Outriders or something like that. But they would just go and explore and try to find themselves.
It's kind of interesting. It's like, yeah, I went to East Asia and I found myself kind of a gap year person.
A little bit like that, but you're more of a what do you call it when you like fight for the law, but you're not affiliated with the law.
The Punisher? No, not the Punisher.
Yeah, like what the Punisher is.
Well, no,
a vigilante.
He fights, yeah.
A vigilante.
Yeah, not the Punisher, because he punishes people.
Yeah, it's more of a Spider-Man, a Batman kind of
thing. Yeah, true. So maybe that's what like the Ronin might do. Like, is the Ronin gonna be a character? Like the Mandalorian as a character?
What if it's bloody Quinlan Voss?
Ooh.
Because like going rogue is kind of his Roganin is kind of his whole thing.
Oh god. What if it's bloody what's his name? Liam Neeson himself.
Qui-Gon.
He's a bit of
Qui-Gonin.
Yeah, the Qui-Gonin. Because like I mean he is like the epitome of what a Jedi should be in the prequel era. And then he fucking dies.
Yeah. You said yourself that we're going to try not to swear.
So you can
I'm going to splice in you saying Borat instead of that.
No, I'm so sorry. I won't again. But yeah, Qui-Gon just dies.
Yeah, he's as far as we know the first Jedi in possibly like centuries or millennia who becomes a Force ghost.
Yeah, probably not at all. But I'm not familiar with the High Republic deaths. When the Jedi die, I assume some have died already. I'm assuming they don't disappear.
I am unsure, but I'm fairly sure that they don't.
Okay, good. Because if they did, confusion.
Yeah, that would mean that the whole downfall of the Jedi would have to happen in the span of like 100 years.
Yeah, which doesn't work. So I would assume that at the very least, throughout Yoda's lifetime, the Jedi are still not the best.
I would assume that it would have to happen before Yoda was a Jedi, because then he would know about it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like, no Jedi can disappear after dying while Yoda's alive.
Right.
Because otherwise he'd be like, what's this?
Which is a bit strange, because like the High Republic is meant to be like the point when Jedi were like the paragons of goodness.
I think that might not be true though.
Yeah, like it is when the Republic was the best and when they were doing the most good, but you know, doing the most altruistic acts and being in tune with the Force might not be one and the same.
It depends on what you think is good though. Like, I mean, let's say an American who thinks, yeah, goodness is like the America epitomized goodness because they try and spread freedom and democracy to elsewhere in the world
empire.
Through interventionalism. And obviously, to a lot of people, interventionalism is not good. But to someone who does think it's good, they think it's good.
They are like the epitome of bringing peace, freedom, justice and security to my new empire.
Your new empire?
That's literally what this is.
Yeah, so...
by extension, America is the Ben Shapiro of countries.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, because Anakin's the Ben Shapiro of Star Wars.
Yes.
He defeated Obi-Wan with facts and logic.
Yeah, and he flirts with Padme the same way that
Ben Shapiro would, because he likes...
With AOC.
Yeah, because he said his wife's dry.
You didn't have to say that, but yes.
My wife's a doctor.
Anyway.
How does this really... Yeah.
How does this relate to Ronin?
I mean, it depends on when Ronin is set. Like, far in the past or in recent?
we still know literally nothing about it, other than the name. So.
Yeah, but it sounds interesting.
And release date, which in itself is pretty interesting, because one would assume that the tie-in books will start coming out during or just after the airtime of the show.
Yeah.
Meaning that it should be wrapped by October 12th, was it you
Which
said?
is when Ronin is being released.
Right. Or at least the episode that it's tied to.
Oh, they Del Rey said they clarified that it's 100% not a novelization. Mm-hmm. It is a story that's tied with the episode. We don't know the title of the episode yet, but it's tied with that episode, but it's not just a novelization of the episode. They also said it's 100% prose, so it's also not just the script.
Mm. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. Like, I'm all in for this.
Yeah. Like,
as far as news goes, this is definitely more of a knee-bray than a gun-ray.
Yeah, well, we're not changing it to knee-bray announcements or something, I don't know.
I don't think that's a good, even for a half-baked, scoring system. When a knee-bray is a good gun-ray, and something else that ends with Ray is a bad gun Ray.
Yeah.
We're
not talking about...
We're not making Ray the bad...
No, it's R-A-Y.
Yes.
Yeah, isn't that the name of another guy, Ray?
It's a pretty common name.
No, but I mean in Star Wars.
There probably is someone just called Ray.
Yeah. But... I think now that we've talked about this, I think now it's time to actually get into cursed territory. Yeah. So I have the Star Wars Iceberg up on my phone, and it's divided into several tiers, and I think they're meant to symbolize not like your mind expanding, but more so
your mum expanding.
Whoa! No, it's like your mind is like and so you're like that. So
what are you saying?
I don't know. So like the first tier is Luke Skywalker at the medal ceremony. So he's very like happy. He's content. He knows what's going on. And then it's Say Tin for some reason with his arms crossed. And then the next tier, third tier is Confused Bib Fortuna. And then it goes straight on to Snoke's in a Jar is tier 4. Then tier 5 is Snice Noodles. The next tier is Chewbacca's son.
Was it Lumpy?
Lumpy, I believe so. And he's got like his mouth open, so he's a bit like worried about whatever that tier. Then the tier after that is Abeloth, who I do not like, but many people do.
Could you explain who or what Abeloth is?
Abeloth is like this force deity. You've heard of like the father, the son, and the daughter, which we may be expanding on later. Abeloth is the wife of the father, so but not the mother. I don't think. I think she's like the adopted mother.
She's the stepmother. Yes.
Yeah, the evil stepmother because she's a bad woman.
The evil stepmother of the Force.
Yeah, but she's like a weird... People are like, oh my god, she's so scary. She's like a Lovecraftian creature. And it's like... Yeah, she's got some tentacles. There's a piece of art of her fighting all the Jedi, which I really hate that piece of art. I don't think it's very good. Because there's like no movement. It's so static, that art piece. So I'm just like, not a fan of it. But she was a big bad in, I think, the new Jedi Order books. And then the last tier is of course Luke's severed head inside Darth Vader's mask. So.
That's just like if you even hear of this forbidden knowledge, like you will be liable to be executed.
Yeah. So the first one, its first tier is going to start pretty normal, I guess. So we've got Darth Jar Jar. So
yeah, that's the most normie of Star Wars bloody fan theories and conspiracies.
Yeah, in my opinion, Darth Jar Jar's it's a funny joke, but it's not true, and I doubt that it was actually gonna be true anyway. So
yes, Jar Jar, even though he is the key to all this,
yes,
was never meant to be the dark force behind everything.
Like people say George Lucas said.
Yeah.
So basically, Darth Jar Jar is a fan theory of people saying like Jar Jar Binks was a Sith Lord the whole time, and so like he was mind controlling people and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and Sidious was just one of his pawns.
Or he was Sidious. I don't know. Some people say that he was working for Sidious, which doesn't work because I mean they interact in Coruscant quite normally.
Yeah.
And Jar Jar gets manipulated by Palpatine anyway.
And then he becomes a street bum because of that manipulation. Yeah, it's just not a thing.
It doesn't work.
That being said, I am open to Palpatine being secretly a Gungan or part Gungan. Because like when he gets like electrocuted and he gets all messed up, I could see that being like some sort of non-human proportions just showing up. That he's just covering up with his dark, evil force magic.
So like how Bill Burr said to Mando, hiding underneath his face mask.
Yeah, he could be a Gungan. Yeah, that was the foreshadowing.
Bombad Sith Lord.
Yeah, Misa Palpy.
That could be, yeah.
But more of a Boss Nass kind of a Gungan.
Oh, well, like big one. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like a subspecies.
Fair enough. Next one, we've got J. Campbell. And you may know that name because he wrote the book The Hero with 1,000 Faces.
Oh, yes. The hero's journey sort of a thing. How Star Wars is like the perfect crystal, or at least the first Star Wars trilogy, is the perfect crystallization of hero's journey.
Yeah. So like J. Campbell, he created this... Well, he didn't create the idea, but he just wrote down how a lot of these myths and legends have like very common themes with like the journey of the heroes from where they started out to the conflicts they face and where they end off.
This was a long time ago, by the way. It was like the 1950s, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it can be pretty universally applied to most things. And George Lucas read this book. And when he was writing Star Wars, he wanted Luke to basically follow the hero's journey.
Yeah. If there's like one theory on this list that is most likely to be true, it's probably this one. Like there's a reason why it's high.
Yeah,
because
they're not all theories.
They're not all theories.
Yeah, some of them are like some of them are secrets.
I see.
Or like yes. So this is a secret, but it's like a normie secret. But I guess the next one is more of a theory, and that's Palpatine killed Padme. And I think this is trying to explain how Padme died of sadness on Polis Massa at the end of episode 3. Because some people say that Palpatine killed her using like force kill. Force kill.
That probably is a thing in some game or something.
Yeah.
Or in like a 12-year-old's fan fiction.
Yeah, but I guess like people say or like the theory because when Palpatine tells Vader that in his anger you killed her, that's meant to be like drive the knife in even more because actually Palpatine killed her.
Yeah, he was involved in the creation of both Anakin and Vader.
Yeah.
See, in theory, I don't dislike it.
Yeah.
But in practice, if he knew like that Padme was there, unless he like planted like a time bomb, like a forced time bomb in her, that would have to mean that like he knew where she was and that she gave birth to twins and probably where those twins went.
But maybe he thought he killed her before she gave birth. So maybe like I don't believe this, but I think it's kind of interesting to think about. So maybe Palpatine thought that before Padme gives birth, he will just kill her using his force powers. Maybe he doesn't need to know where she is in order to do it.
Maybe he was just attuned to her being and didn't notice that there were two souls attached to her.
Yeah, or maybe he was just like, like Control F, but you do that for like all living things because he's so powerful. I mean, he strangled Count Dooku from half a galaxy away. So like Control F, Padme's force signature, kill. Like, delete.
Yeah, like a Cerebro kind of situation.
Yeah, because, I mean, Palpatine's pretty powerful, so... I mean, I want to put it past his ability.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it past him, but still, I'm going to say unlikely.
Yeah. Next one is Agent R5d4, otherwise known as...
Skippy, was it?
Skippy, or...
Is his name actually Skippy? Did I get that right?
I think it is, yeah. On Wikipedia, it has otherwise known as Red, as called by Luke Skywalker. I was like, oh, come on, he just says the Red One. What about the Red One? I was like, that doesn't mean... That's not a nickname you get. He's literally the Red One. But Agent R5d4 is from New Canon, not from Legends.
In Legends, this droid was actually Force sensitive.
I feel like that wasn't actually canon.
No, it was just like, it was probably in like the Star Wars magazine, and this was like what if this guy was actually this, and one of them was...
Yeah, because droids aren't Force sensitive. Droids can't be, surely.
I mean, if you want to get technical, Force is in everything, including rocks.
Oh, yeah,
and as we've established, droids do have a consciousness. They do have a soul, if such a thing exists. Why wouldn't they be able to use the Force?
But I feel like if droids had a Force signature, like I think droids are alive in Star Wars, and I think they're sentient. But if they had a Force signature, I feel like Jedi would be saying, "Let's not mistreat droids."
You say that, but we've also established that Jedi don't care about slaves and freeing them.
Yeah.
Or Nikto that are locked in...
in a
bloody... What are the bloody...
A jail, I don't know, prison block.
I'm talking about the ship model.
Oh, the banking clan one.
The banking clan ship.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
so
true.
Why would they care about droids who are basically just the legal slave class of Star Wars?
Yeah, I guess. But Agent R5d4, I think this is in relation to in New Canon. In certain points of view, R5d4 was...
confirmed to be a rebel droid who... heard from R2D2 that he is on a special mission from Princess Leia and was like, okay, he is more important than me in this situation. I need to focus really hard on overheating my motivator because I believe in the Empire. Save the Empire.
Empire?
What? The rebellion. Save the dream.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of dumb though.
It's very dumb. Like, that's the problem with certain point of view. It's mostly canon, but only kind of canon, but also not really. And so
some of
you
it's
have to
good.
take all of it into consideration.
Some of it's good, some of it's not.
And a lot of it contradicts each other.
Hence, from a certain point of view.
Yeah, that's the problem with taking all of that as gospel, because you can't. That's the entire point of it.
What if R5D4 thought he was an agent? And hence why he blew his bad motivator?
I mean...
Like, maybe this is actually a recollection of the event after he blew his motivator.
And because he blew his motivator, his recollection is skewed.
Yeah, so then he thought, no, I must have done it on purpose. Or maybe, I'm part of the Rebel Alliance. You know, like how the Empire at that time, presumably after he got repaired by the Jawas, they would have... Oh my god, no, it's because... Okay, presumably he would have got repaired by the Jawas, he would have been put on the Sandcrawler, and then the Stormtroopers killed all the Jawas, so what happened to R5D4? So R5D4 was like, oh my god, they're looking for a rebel spy. I'm the spy! And so he thought this, like he's like schizophrenic droid.
Oh yeah, Skippy is short for schizophrenic.
Oh my god, we figured it out. So I think this is like technically normally deep lore, but I think we've made it deeper.
Yeah, as we are wont to do.
Yeah, but even though we can make things deeper, this next one kind of isn't. It's just hands shot first.
Well,
but in one of the recent books, it made it even more interesting. Like, so obviously Han's shot first in the theatrical release.
Yeah, this is obviously, in case you've been living under a rock,
Yeah.
or behind a rock that was added to your reality in the special edition so that you can hide slightly better.
Oh, and unless it was lifted by Rey at the end of The Last Jedi, you may not have seen
that in the original cut of Star Wars, Han shot Greedo before he even has a chance to do anything.
Yeah, whereas George Lucas changed it. So Greedo shot Han first, and then
Han moved his head.
Yeah, he like broke his neck in order to avoid the blaster shot. And then like over time in each re-release, the time between them firing got smaller and smaller, and Han was moving his neck quicker and quicker.
And most recently, Greedo says McClunky just before he shoots.
Indeed. So basically, this is just like what is happening. So the fan base, I don't want to say split because no one cares that much to actually form a schism, but
it's a pretty big like thing.
Yeah. So I prefer obviously Han shooting first, but in canon, technically I guess he didn't. But in one of the recent books, I believe it was the one that talked about like Luke Skywalker like being so cool. You know, like from the perspective of smugglers talking about tall tales about Luke. And I think they mentioned Han Solo, and then they got into an argument about whether he shot first. He's like, no. He didn't. He shot Greedo, and Greedo didn't even have a chance to shoot back. It's like, that's not true. I heard he moved out of the way of the blaster bolt and then shot him. So it's like actually in universe, people are having disagreement over this.
That is pretty cool. I like that. But what I don't like is, why do people care that much? Like, we know that Han Solo is a bit of a sleazebagano. Like, he is a spice runner. Yeah. He abandoned them, and he doesn't have that whole redemption arc. Why does shooting this alien dude make that much of a difference?
I don't
get over it.
Do you mean to George Lucas?
I mean to the millions of people who go around with like Han shot first t-shirts.
No, but I think
get the fuck over it.
You did again.
Get over it. Like, it happened like 30 years ago. Who cares?
Yeah, but I prefer. I'm not gonna rail on about it because I don't think we've ever mentioned it on the podcast. But I do prefer a Han shooting Greedo first, because I think that's the kind of character he is. But then again, George Lucas changed it because he wanted, I'm just going to say Han and Han interchangeably, and I don't care. So he wanted Han Solo to be more morally good at heart and less cold-blooded killer. But, I mean, who cares?
You heard it here first, folks. Freddy is campaigning to change our name to Han Shotcast First.
Oh my god, I guarantee that's a real thing. No, there is the Han Shot First podcast.
There is.
Yeah.
There definitely is.
Yeah, sorry.
But I'm pretty sure there isn't a Han Shotcast First.
You never know. Han shot Jocasta Nu first.
I'm gonna turn the lights on. No, actually, I won't. This is necessary to keep hidden, because if we turn the lights on, the bloody Imperial Security Bureau is going to find us.
Yeah, with all this deep knowledge of Boba Fett killing Owen and Beru Lars.
Yeah, I have heard of this one, which would explain why they're all crispy, because he's a flamethrower boy and he was on Tatooine.
Yeah, was it in a comic?
I don't believe that it was confirmed in a comic that he killed them. He did go to their homestead at some point after episode 4.
Yeah.
For some reason that I don't recall.
Wait, so Rey went to the same place Boba Fett went to, basically. That's kind of weird.
Same person confirmed?
Ooh.
I know that Luke was there to pick up Obi-Wan's journal. Wait, was it their homestead or was it Obi-Wan's house?
It must have been Obi-Wan's house because that's where his journal was. It was in the big box.
Yeah, that's where those two met, but Luke didn't know because he was temporarily blinded by flashbang.
Flashbang. It's like some eldritch horror.
How do you pronounce that? Flashbang?
Yeah, flashbang.
Flashbang.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not British. I can't make the sounds that you do.
British? Sound and water?
Water, governor.
Yeah, I'm making fun of myself.
Please, may I have some more?
And people also say that Boba Fett killed them. Like, that's what the no disintegrations is in reference to.
It's been confirmed that it's in reference to the Sunspot prison incident, which he had nothing to do with. That was actually Dr. Aphra.
Whoa!
And someone else.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this fan theory because I prefer, because it makes more sense for it to just be the stormtroopers that were there.
Yeah, it makes. We know that Boba Fett was there, but he's working for Jabba.
Yeah.
Why would he be there working for the Empire?
Yeah, he needs the money from Jabba.
He needs the whoopee.
The whoopee, yeah. Well, imagine if like Luke's like, I need to go to Toshi Station to pick some power converters. There's only 15 whoopee. I think if he said that, maybe Star Wars wouldn't be as popular as it is now.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it would be one of the things they would make like 15 books about.
Yeah, or like how much would it cost Han Solo to get to Alderaan? It would cost 15,000 whoopee.
I made the Kessel Run in 13 whoopee.
Oh, yeah. The next one is a Jedi Census. And I assume that this is in reference to how many Jedi there are, at least in the prequel era.
Right, I think I heard the number like 10,000 thrown around.
Yeah, 10,000 Jedi, which isn't that many.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot, but keep in mind that like on our planet, there are 7 billion people.
Yeah. If
you have a group of 10,000, that's nothing.
Yeah.
And Star Wars has like, only Coruscant has probably like
trillions of people. Yeah. And so statistically, most people, I would say like vast majority of people in the galaxy have never seen a Jedi, which makes sense, even though I know a lot of people say about the Clone Wars with them leading the front lines, but I mean, still.
Like, how many people have been to the front lines?
Yeah.
Especially in a conflict that has like no civilians in it unless they're like being held hostage.
But I think there were
I meant civilians. Like, it's between clones and droids.
Yeah.
There's like no normal people
in the fray. I think there were though, but we don't see them. So
not with the Jedi around.
No, but they weren't.
You know, there was like Air-Deraan with like guerrillas, guerreras fighting. But
we don't see the parts of the Clone Wars where clones weren't fighting. So there were, and we also saw how there were human or alien separatists as well, like on Umbara. But then again, we also don't see battles in the Clone Wars when the Jedi weren't leading.
Mm-hmm.
So presumably there were.
Yeah, and even if there were, like, yes, some troops would have seen Anakin and Obi-Wan, like Saw Gerrera, for example.
Yeah.
But you will have to bloody take into consideration that there are hundreds and thousands of clones and only like 10,000 Jedi. Not all of them are... I guarantee you that, like, at the very least, like, a third of them wouldn't have gone to the front lines.
Yeah.
Because someone has to take care of the temple, someone has to take care of the younglings and stuff. So, and even then, if you have 6 or 8, let's say 8,000 Jedi around the galaxy.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
I know, it's not...
That's like, one tiny village.
Have any of you, podcast listeners, seen, I don't know, a Shaolin monk in the flesh?
Shaolin monks are a little... Yeah, maybe that's actually a good description.
Yeah, like, have any of you seen one, ever? The answer, I'm guaranteeing, is no.
Yeah, and like having a TV in the world of Star Wars, like a HoloNet.
I don't think...
it's not that common.
No, I think the HoloNet isn't TV, I think it's radio. That's my theory, by the way.
It's radio with some pictures.
Yeah, it's radio with static images.
Wasn't the destruction of the second Death Star broadcast like with pictures?
Yeah, but
Mandalorian?
It was broadcast as a GIF though.
As a GIF?
Yeah, because it kept playing over and over again.
Yeah, it has like limited pictures.
Yes.
And there's maybe like one per town in like the Outer Rim. If you're like on Coruscant, your kids have one probably.
Yeah, like you'll be able to go on the HoloNet on your data pad.
Yeah.
But it seems like technology in Star Wars is really limited. So it's like 70s technology in space. basically.
Yeah, it it varies like planet to planet and like prequels to original trilogy to sequels.
But then again, prequels, you see it from the perspective of the core worlds anyway. So
yeah, and that is meant to be like the 1930s, like the faux everyone is doing really well, whereas there is like a heck ton of trying not to swear is hard, like just a lot of like fake equality, whereas a lot of people are starving.
Yeah, exactly. I think we can go on to the next one, since we covered the numbers of the Jedi quite well. Is an ET connection?
Yeah, that is kind of a normie deep lore.
Yeah. So if you don't know, in the Phantom Menace, you see this species in the Senate called the Asogians,
who are literally just ET.
Yeah, they're literally ET.
Yes, and in turn. And by in turn, I mean a couple of years earlier, you could have seen in the film E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Oh.
E.T. sees a kid in a Yoda costume.
Yes.
On the street, and he's like, "Home, home, home."
Yeah, I remember someone saying, like, in like a top 10 secrets, and they said, we know that this is a Star Wars connection, like they did it in partnership, because E.T. came out like 5 years before Phantom Menace came out, so how would that kid have that costume? And I was like, bruh, Yoda was first seen in 1980. Just saying. But I know it technically, like, it did look like a prequel Yoda, but he wears pretty much the same thing anyway, so...
Yeah, like, bloody George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, it's not a secret that they're like mates.
Yeah,
they made Indiana Jones together.
Yeah.
They probably made some other things together. For the longest time, I thought that Steven Spielberg made the first movie. Made the first Star Wars.
He was gonna make Episode 6.
That would have been pretty cool, but
I
don't think it needed.
I think Spielberg is either really hits or you forget the bad movies because they're forgettable. Like, he has made bad movies.
Yeah, forgettable, but not necessarily like horrid.
No.
He's not like a Michael Bay, where he either makes The Rock or Transformers 2.
Oh, God. Or George Lucas, when he either makes Star Wars A New Hope or he makes Red Tails?
Yeah. I mean, George Lucas is a bit of a special case because he's never been a great director.
Well,
he's good at ideas and stuff like that, but not necessarily directing.
I think he still did quite a lot. Like A New Hope was largely his directing. I know his wife did a lot of editing, but that's different to directing.
Yeah, and I do hear that THX 1188 or whatever it's called.
Apparently that's really good.
American Graffiti. As a Star Wars fan, I probably should watch those.
I should as well. But apparently they are actually very good films, which is why George Lucas was able to make Star Wars in the first place.
Yeah.
Because he made two successful, good films. So,
although I don't necessarily know how much of that was just him, but benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, and also with directing, in order for a film to be saved in the edit, you need to have shot enough material in order for it to be saved in the edit. Because they did do reshoots, but when it was saved in the edit, that was after their second bout of shooting in Tunisia, wasn't it?
Oh my god, Star Wars did reshoots? That automatically means that it's a bad movie like Rogue One.
Yeah, because they shot the movie and edited it together and it was terrible. So they redid it.
Reshoots don't mean that the movie is going to be bad.
Yeah, literally. I mean,
just calm down.
I think it's because people know about it nowadays.
Yeah, but 90% of films have reshoots.
Yeah, exactly. There's something that people don't know about, or maybe, let's say Anakin didn't know about, is this next one, which is Obi X Padme.
I hate that.
Yeah, I don't think it's true. I think it's one of those dumb shipping. Mm-hmm. I don't actually think you can even put some thought into this other than like a joke.
Yeah, like how, when, and why?
I think it's like people trying to rationalize that Luke and Leia are Obi-Wan's children.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, Obi-Wan only had eyes for Satine.
Yeah, and Corky is obviously his canon son.
Yeah, I really hope. I sent you that Twitter page, and he made one that was Corky Kryze visits Obi-Wan in the desert on Tatooine. And he's just like, you may not know me, but I'm Satine's niece. And Obi-Wan's like, oh, I definitely don't know you.
Niece?
Nephew. No.
Right.
Yeah, god damn it. You never know. Star Wars.
True.
So we've completed...
I mean, bloody Star Wars could use a trans character. We have that theory about the Twi'lek in The Prisoner.
The Prisoner, yeah, maybe that should be on here because I think that's actually true.
It seems to be true, but we don't really have any confirmation.
And because it's Disney, it will never be confirmed.
And I have a feeling that we've seen more Twi'leks in Mandalorian who look the same, like as in they don't have the cone ears.
Yeah, no,
or is it the forehead?
It's the forehead thing. We do see cone ears, but we see more forehead.
Yeah, so we're not sure if they were meant to be trans or if the makeup people just forgot.
Maybe. But if you don't know, we're talking about the sexual dimorphism in Twi'leks, where males have human ears and bulbous heads and fanged teeth.
Yeah, whereas females have like human teeth, cone ears, and flat foreheads.
Yeah.
Just look at the difference between Bib Fortuna and Hera Syndulla.
Yeah, exactly. So,
or even Hera Syndulla and Sham Syndulla.
So that spreads some theories about if some Twi'leks may or may not be trans characters.
Which just give us a confirmation, Disney.
Yeah, please.
You know, China is not going to care
about
a book.
It doesn't care about Star Wars anyway.
Yeah, it never does super well. Just put goddamn Finn on the poster.
Oh, please. Yeah. Right, so we've done Boyish Luke, and now on to the next tier. So we've got Vietnam War analog.
Boyish Luke?
Yeah, it's like he looks a bit like,
right.
Naive Luke. So we've gone through that, and now we're actually onto the iceberg.
That Luke is younger than either of us.
He's 19. That's terrifying. When do I get a blow up a Death Star? But probably not in the Vietnam War analog. So that's this one.
Yeah, we've talked about this on the podcast.
Yeah, so it's Endor basically.
Endor is just Vietnam, and so is Umbara, but we'll get there in a few years.
Mainly Endor in this case, because George Lucas made this with that intention in mind. So basically, the Ewoks are the Viet Cong, and the Empire is America.
Yeah.
So
which is pretty anti-war when you think about it, because one route you could go with is like, oh my god, is he saying that bloody the Vietnamese were like animals? No, he's saying America shouldn't have freaking done this.
America bad. George Lucas was very famously anti-Vietnam War, and if people think that George Lucas is right-wing like Gina Carano, you're literally dead wrong, because George Lucas is very left-leaning and has been his entire life. So his first movie, or his first film that he made when he was in film school, had a lot of anti-Vietnam War things, because he made that when he was in film school during the Vietnam War.
Yeah, when he was visited by a couple of time travelers from the DC universe.
Oh god, that's I've seen the Legends of Tomorrow episode when that happens, and I actually I thought it was quite fun.
Yeah, I don't like that show too much, but I appreciate it.
There's some whack episodes.
I appreciate how much fun they have with some stuff.
Yeah, I think the best thing about Legends of Tomorrow is that none of it is taken seriously. Like they tried in some ways with season 1 with Vandal Savage, and then it was like, this is actually tying the show down, so let's just forget that and let's just do whatever we want.
Yeah, let's go visit Let's go visit George Lucas, and then let's go do the moon landing, but Professor Stein is singing Banana Boat in the Cape Canaveral to get the distraction, which is probably my favorite scene in that whole show.
They gave AK-47s to the British in the American War of Independence, and they had to try and stop that. And the zombie American Civil War. There's some crazy episodes.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah, but
they bloody bring Constantine back. I have to watch season 3 or 4 whenever that happens.
And Gorilla Grodd, I believe, appears in right?
I
know he's a Flash villain, but I think he does appear in Legends tomorrow.
I mean, Flash, Reverse Flash is like one of the main villains of season 2.
He is, yeah, with Captain Jack Harkness.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
the other guy who's in
Dum Dum Dugan.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
I don't know.
Malcolm Merlin, that's Jeff Harkness.
The other one.
Duncan? Doesn't matter. The
Duncan,
Magic Man.
Yeah. He's in Band of Brothers. So, the next one that I'm sure we all know is Coke Nails.
Elaborate, please.
So, I believe this is in reference to Carrie Fisher's alleged coke nail.
Right. If you don't know, coke nail means that you're growing out like one or a couple of your nails a little bit more than the others, so that you can make like cocaine trails.
Yeah, so you can then do the spice.
And allegedly, Carrie Fisher had a pretty bad habit of doing that, as many actors and celebrities did in that time period.
I mean, it's not really allegedly. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was in her autobiography. So
allegedly.
Yeah, she just lied about it for street cred. But there's a frame or a shot in Empire Strikes Back when she's got a hand, I believe, on Han's shoulder, and I think it's her ring finger. Her nail is noticeably longer than any other nail on her hand. So, coke nail? Question mark.
Possibly.
I think it's entirely possible because she
did admit it.
She did admit to doing cocaine during that. She also admitted to being with Harrison Ford at that time as well. So, yeah, maybe that's what coke does.
Well, maybe that's where she got it from. He is a spice runner after all.
Oh, that's true. The next one is OB1, spelt O-B and then the number 1.
Like he's a droid?
This is actually in reference to a fan theory I had to look up, where Obi-Wan is actually, like, it's a origin story for Obi-Wan, where he is actually a clone, and then the clone of the original Obi-Wan, of Obi-Wan Prime, if you will. And
his name was just Obi?
I don't know, maybe. And like the 1 is the designator for the clones. So he's the first clone of Obi Kenobi or Obi Kenobi. That sounds so wrong.
Cursed.
Yeah. So I think Obi-Wan is either he's like a droid, or I think it's like he's a clone, because in like before the prequels came out, people thought like an idea for the Clone Wars was that it was about clones, so they cloned a load of Jedi.
That is not actually a bad theory. Now that you mentioned that bit into it.
Yeah, so it's like could be a theory for like previous versions of Star Wars.
Could be. Like, we know that the original draft of Star Wars is very different, and there was
we'll be getting there.
And there will be a bunch of whack stuff that we'll still get into.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, we didn't know what Clone Wars is. Were there Jedi versus the clones? Was it Jedis being cloned?
Yeah.
Or this, which apparently some people were disappointed with because it's not their whack theory.
Yeah, there was a lot of disappointed people.
They were very disappointed that Clone Wars weren't actually Doctor Strange showing up and battling Mephisto.
Where was John Krasinski? But apparently this theory appeared in the Secret History of Star Wars, which apparently was a free ebook that's no longer available.
Because it's full of bloody secret knowledge that we're not meant to have. Literally.
Yeah.
What it's freaking called.
I think it's from 1998, actually, this theory.
Oh, fun.
Even though, like, the ebook, it wasn't an ebook back then, but it was an ebook at some point.
I actually don't hate this theory, even though I thought I would, as you were talking about the Obi Prime.
Yeah, I don't think it's canon, but I feel
Obviously.
like it's not canon, but it's an interesting idea for like the growth of Star Wars as like an idea.
Obviously, it breaks the naming conventions for clones in Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
If Obi-Wan was a clone, his name would be Obi-Clone.
Yeah,
Obi-Clone, yes.
Yeah, Obi-Clone. We'll be getting to Luke later.
Luke.
So the next one is Rey equals Shmi.
So Rey ends up going back in time to become Anakin's mother?
I think that might be, because both... So Rey ends up on Tatooine.
Yes.
Rey also... I don't know. She may be pregnant.
With whom?
With Kylo Ren.
I mean, they do pass a whole lightsaber.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Why not, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't like that, because I don't think either of them would be up for that.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. It's obviously just a stupid fan theory that was made for no reason. Hence why it's on the tier where Stacey Tin has got his arms crossed.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not this one. The next one, though, is tied to Anakin's creation, and that's Plagueis Creation. So that's, I assume, the theory that Darth Plagueis created Anakin.
This probably came out before the Charles Soule Darth Vader comic. Where it was all but confirmed that Sidious created Anakin.
I believe in Legends it was Plagueis that created Anakin.
Which I don't... makes some sort of a sense. There's all... He could create life.
Yeah.
The bloody meaningful look at Anakin.
Yeah, I think... so the Legend of Darth Plagueis the Wise is, at least 100% in Legends, was in reference to Palpatine's master. In canon, we don't know if he's talking about his master or if he's actually talking about himself.
Well, can you change your Darth name?
No, or but I mean, he's lying.
Maybe.
I think some people say that when he's talking about Darth Plagueis, he's actually talking about himself.
You're right. It's never been mentioned in canon that Plagueis was his master.
I think that's an assumption that Plagueis is still his master.
Because I think that Darth Plagueis is it was, I don't know when the book was released. I think it was around 2008.
Yeah, around that time.
It's in the same sort of limbo as the Clone Wars TV show. I think that it's somewhat canon because it came out at an opportune time, but it's not necessarily considered canon.
James Luceno also tried. He was able to canonize a lot of things from the Darth Plagueis novel when he wrote Tarkin.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he was able to canonize, everything relating to the plot.
I feel like this might be one of the things that they would want to keep, because why change it? Maybe they will change who and what form Plagueis was and had, but...
Yeah, I think Darth Plagueis as a novel probably works better as one of the foundational things. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's got a lot of good stuff in it that people have nowadays have just sort of accepted as true.
I don't know if the Acolyte that in the TV show, the upcoming TV show Acolyte, is confirmed or even meant to be Palpatine.
I really hope it's not.
But if he is, we might be able to get some sort of a idea there.
Yeah, I think it's gonna reveal something if it is Palpatine. It might be about Palpatine.
Yes.
But will it be about Palpatine as an acolyte, or will it be about Darth Maul?
It takes place 80 years ago.
How old's Darth Maul?
Not 80.
What if he's a child? What if he's a baby? What if Palpatine's his dad? He raises him.
I think that the Son of Dathomir... I haven't read the whole thing yet, but I'm pretty sure it contradicts that. And I'm pretty sure Son of Dathomir is canon.
Yeah, Son of Dathomir 100% is canon.
Yeah.
Was going to be a Arc Clone Wars.
And it really looks like it. I thought that I read some of it, but no, this looks very different from the Darth Maul book that I read.
Yeah.
Some of.
It's interesting.
Yes.
But now we're on to the Black Angel. So do you have any idea what this is? I know 100% what this is, but do you know?
Does it have something to do with the moons of Iago?
It does not, but that's actually kind of interesting. No, unfortunately, this isn't a lore thing at all. This is actually... so before the screening of Empire Strikes Back, when it came out in 1980, they played a movie about half an hour long called The Black Angel. This is a movie I told you yesterday that I had already seen last year.
I do not remember this conversation, but go on.
Yeah, I'd seen this movie about a year ago, and it's not good. It's it's a fantasy about like this guy coming back to his home, like his homestead, his manor house, and all of his like people, all of his peasant workers like got this plague and they're all dying. And then he like goes off into the woods and he sees like this fair maiden who's like being attacked or like held hostage by this black angel who's like this evil knight, and then he like fights the evil knight. But it's literally the worst fight scene I've ever seen. It's like slow motion and like missing. It's like terribly shot.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, other than the fight scene, it's okay.
The point being?
It played before Empire Strikes Back in cinemas when Empire Strikes Back was, theatrically being released. And then, after that, Black Angel was lost to time until, I think, only a couple of years ago, when it was found in some archives. And then there was a Kickstarter campaign recently to remake it.
Why? It's a piece of Star Wars history, tangentially, I guess, but why?
Because the director thinks it's not good and wants to make it better.
Oh, fair enough. I mean,
so he's like, I want to redo it into like a proper thing, because I think he was limited by budget, because they filmed on location in Scotland, and I think they used up all their budget for that, and they didn't really have much time to actually make it good. So there's some pretty good shots in it though.
Well, it's like a bloody Dave Filoni production.
Oh yeah, but
got it.
Well, you might have heard of this next one, which is Turkish Star Wars.
Ah yes, the Turkish movie that's like a ripoff of Star Wars and uses some of the footage, but is I don't even know what it is.
It uses a lot of footage from it, apparently.
Yeah, like the Death Star run and everything, but also the hero has like a big wooden sword with like no paint on it at all.
It's also a kung fu movie.
Yeah, like they drive horses and stuff.
It's kind of weird, and they just outright lift footage from A New Hope.
Yeah. So
the main ship is based on the Millennium Falcon. The film literally starts off with a mixture of the Tantive 4 getting attacked by the Star Destroyer, or Tantive E4.
Thank you.
And also footage of American and Soviet spaceships taking off.
Okay.
I was like, how can you put those together? I haven't seen it, but I'm kind of interested to know how on earth that can work.
We should watch it. Like,
oh my god.
Maybe not this. Not Valentine's Day. What's it called? 1st of April. April Fool's Day.
Oh god. Yeah,
it's next week.
Yeah.
Because that would throw us off our schedule, which was already thrown off by bloody Spunkstone not happening.
Yeah, which is a shame.
Bloody Spunkstone is a bad phrase. But yeah, it's interesting, and we should probably look into that, at least for fun. It sounds nuts.
Yeah, apparently it is. Now we're on to Concerned and Confused Bib Fortuna, with extended editions are rebel propaganda.
Elaborate, please.
This is what it says. I can't elaborate on things I don't know. I'm assuming this is like the added scenes are to make the rebels seem good and the Empire seem bad.
Why would you need to add any scenes for that? The Death Star exists.
But I mean, like, in universe, like, if the rebels were going to represent the theatrical thing, they'll also add extra things. And I think it might be the removal of Yub Nub and the inclusion of celebrations around the galaxy.
That I kind of get. Like, celebrations around the galaxy, yeah, those were A, kind of hokey, B, what is Coruscant, why is it here, what is this planet, who are these people? That's a quick recap of my thoughts when I first saw episode 6, not having seen any of the prequels. Who are these duck people jumping around the planet? What is this? There's a shot of Naboo in 6, isn't there?
There is a shot of Naboo.
Yeah.
I think it might also... so, like, on Coruscant, in new canon, Coruscant is pretty Imperial.
Yeah.
And remained Imperial. And forever.
And bloody, at least our theories about the New Republic are, they're not actually, like, the best of people.
Yeah. So, it may seem that... if it was rebel propaganda, it's to make people think that the majority of people in the galaxy supported their goal.
Yes.
Which, I mean, in canon, they probably did.
That also kind of gives credence to the Resistance not having that much of a support, at least initially.
Yeah.
Because, like, Resistance was like a splinter group of the New Republic. Like, they did not have Republic's backing.
No, they were funded by the Republic.
They didn't have, like, official Republic
Yeah, not
backing.
official, yeah.
Like, Leia and a couple other senators were like, this is wrong, we're leaving, we're taking what we can, and we're going to fight the First Order.
Yeah. So that might be... And also why no one came at the end of The Last Jedi.
That's a whole another can of
worms. We did talk about
because everyone showed up at the...
Yeah, but that's because Lando was there. And Lando's so cool!
Yeah.
Yeah. Next one is, of course, Clone Wars Lost Episodes.
Right. Is this regarding the proposed episodes 7 through 9 that George Lucas was going to make?
No, Clone Wars Lost Episodes.
Oh, Clone Wars Lost Episodes. Go on.
So I assume... so in the Lost Episodes, that's the Banking Clan arc. That's the Fives arc. That's the Disappeared.
The best piece of Jar Jar content that exists.
Exactly.
Allegedly.
And also the Obadiah one. The one where Anakin and Obi-Wan investigate Cypher Diaz.
Sancho
Diaz himself. A joke I wish I first made on the podcast.
Isn't he Asian, the actor?
He is, I believe.
Like modeled after an Asian person?
I believe so, yeah.
I'm pretty sure the person you talked about that makes the Corky and stuff, he used an Asian actor.
Yeah, fan casted. I think it's...
Oh, well, Asians can have bloody Latino names.
Well, he died anyway. But I think the Lost Episodes is... So, like, they were able to still be released, which is kind of a bit weird when you think about it.
I mean, for the longest time, a lot of it was lost. Not necessarily lost, but unmade, like, all the reels of the Bad Batch.
And Utapau.
The Crystal Crisis, and the Qui-Gon, Quinlan Voss.
The Quinlan Voss. Well, you got Son of Dathomir as well, that was another one.
And a couple other things that were released as books. And we do know that things were changed from the reels to the finished product. Yeah, Dark Web is good and all, but we do need some light. If you look at the reels, there is maybe mostly subtle changes, but there are changes nonetheless.
Yeah, maybe in the Bad Batch episode, they changed it. They changed like a pin-up, like Anakin looking at a pin-up image of Padme on a gunship to him having his hologram conversation with Padme, which I prefer.
Yeah, and we don't know how much is changed in like the other things that were released.
Oh no, we know how much was changed in Ahsoka's Walkabout because in Ahsoka's Walkabout the what are they called? Not Mendez sisters. Something like that.
Everyone is Latino.
They were actually originally one young man, and I assume they changed that because it's getting confusing. Because Ahsoka hangs around with
Lux Montari.
Yeah, Lux Montari. And this is a different guy who lives in the underworld of Coruscant. And they were like, this is kind of the same, so let's make him twins. No, they're not twins, they're just sisters, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Oh, well, like... But we don't even know that what the reels was going to be the finished product. There's probably a lot of like lore that could have been very different in those things.
Yeah. Oh, you also have Cad Bane with Boba Fett arc.
Yeah, his last duel.
There was going to be one set on Kashyyyk in the Underdark. You know, like where you go in KOTOR.
The KOTOR? Or bloody Cal Kestis game?
No, I mean in KOTOR. That was originally going to be in the Clone Wars.
I didn't know that Kashyyyk is in KOTOR. Huh.
Yeah, you go there, I think, and it might be in KOTOR too, I can't remember. But people were really...
It's soon.
No, and you definitely do go to Kashyyyk and KOTOR then.
Not in 2.
Yeah, because people were... that was the first canon appearance of Kashyyyk. One of the first visual depictions of Kashyyyk. Right. And people were really annoyed at Revenge of the Sith for quote-unquote dumbing down Kashyyyk into into being like a beach with some big trees. Dumbing down is like one of my most hated phrases. I hate that phrase. It's terrible. So yeah, Lost Episodes introduces there was a lot of stuff that was removed, a lot of mysteries. Ooh. Mysteries of the Sith? Yeah, and I think it can be a bit confusing. Hence confused Bib Fortuna. They should have used visible confusion. You know that meme that everyone loves? Why am I saying it like I don't? I like visible confusion. I like prequel memes. They're the best memes. Yeah. The next one is Eragon Connections. As in E-R-A. E-R-A-G-O-N. Oh yeah, I remember that. I love those books, yeah. People say a lot and they use it as like a detriment. That Eragon, the stories of the Dragon Riders, or whatever it's called, the Saga of the Dragon Riders. The first book. Specifically the first book is just A New Hope, but fantasy. But it kind of is though. It kind of is though, but how is that a negative? I mean, because it kind of is just A New Hope, but fantasy. I know, like, it is written by a child. It was written by a literal 15-year-old. Yeah, Paolini was 15 when he wrote that. So, I mean, I wrote some terrible things. Not like cursed or spicy. I meant it was just, like, objectively bad. Yeah, just badly written. Badly written things when I was 15. Like, Eragon may not be the best written book, but it's hecking cool. And, like, Star Wars, except the lightsaber is a dragon. Like... yeah, why not? Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. It's just cool. But yeah, so... and it just works. It's here because Paolini was influenced by Star Wars, and he did use Star Wars as a basis, along with Lord of the Rings and a lot of other things he liked, for the plot in this. Yeah. Case in point, Doctor Who is canon in Eragon. Why? Why not? It's canon that the Doctor visited Alagasia. Oh, God. There's a lot of random things canon in Doctor Who. Like, did I tell you how the galaxy used to be ran by plant people? Yeah, that's a big uppo. Also, how Christopher Eccleston, Doctor, met Mickey and Martha when they were together after Stolen Earth. But so to explain how the Doctor didn't recognize Martha was that Martha had been turned into a gargoyle. So he only knew Mickey. Wow. Yeah, it's a comic. Sounds fun. Kind of weird. The next one is Jabba the Hutt Human. I hate it, but continue. I believe this is in reference to the added scene in the special editions for A New Hope. When, yes, I hate it. Let's continue. When Solo Luke, when Han Solo is talking to Jabba in the Docking Bay 94. Yes. And like Jabba's walking around. Well, the original footage of that is there's a stand-in actor for Jabba the Hutt, and he's a person. He's just a man. A big man. A big man in a big furry coat. It's quite furry. Which is strange for a desert planet. Yeah, but maybe that's why he's so... no, I don't know. Yeah, and that is the same footage, kind of, that they use for the special editions. No, it is the same footage, but they overlay... the man with the CGI... which at first was terrible. terrible CGI of Jabba. Like, it's really bad.
Yeah, look it up. It's, like, bad.
Yeah,
and then it was replaced by a much better, but still... Well, it is a good CGI Jabba, like...
Yeah.
It was released in, like, what, 2002 or something, around that time?
Yeah, it was fine for the most part.
It's
like,
not a bad
when they
one.
re-released it, I think it was fine, but in the first one, it's just bad. But that's where Jabba the Hutt human comes from. Next one is Escape from Daegu. I'm afraid I don't know what Escape from Daegu is. Also, if you're hearing noises, not next door, but the place up after that, they're having building work. So,
Why did they start at like 6:30?
They've been doing it for quite a while. I think Escape from Daegu is like a Clone Wars novel that got cancelled.
I don't care.
So, and it's gonna have, and I quote, Shark T leading a mission to rescue Republic clone troopers clone trooper prisoners of war from the planet Daegu when they were being held captive by Dark Acolyte Artel Dark, spelt D-A-R-C. I have no idea who Artel Dark is.
And what does a Dark Acolyte mean?
I don't know, but...
Does that mean like another Ventress? person?
Well, no, you should have a look at the... he looks kind of like... who's the guy that says wow?
Luke Owens? No.
No, it's something I was... Yeah, well, that's what he looks like. That's the cover of the book. I'm just showing Voitis up here.
Oh, they're jumping. I thought they were like sitting down.
Yeah, I recommend you look at Escape from Daegu's cover art because it's kind of weird. It looks like Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson, yeah. Thank you.
So it's kind of a bit weird.
I don't like him. He looks... He has like angelic hair.
Yeah, but that's what Escape from Daegu is. So that's another link to the Lost episodes, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I like Shakti getting to do something other than die again.
Several times, actually. That's all Shakti's used for.
Yeah, dying and sitting in the background looking kind of cool.
Yeah. Next one is Chewbacca Is Sasquatch.
Yeah, we've... Like, in between me and Freddy, we talk about this a fair amount. How there is this comic... It's obviously not canon and probably never was.
It never was canon. But it can't have been canon.
You don't know that. In which the Millennium Falcon with Chewbacca and Han Solo... Yeah, you're right, it couldn't have been canon.
Yeah.
Crashes on a planet.
No, they go through a hyperspace anomaly and then it forces them to crash into a planet.
Okay, that makes a bit more sense then.
Yeah. They
crash into a planet, Han dies in the accident... Then some years pass, and someone who looks curiously like Harrison Ford,
with short round
and a hat and a whip, shows up and finds this strange wreckage, and he also sees...
He's looking for the Sasquatch.
He's looking for the Sasquatch.
And in the next panel, you see that it's Chewbacca, because he's got the bandolier on. So, that's... Chewbacca is Sasquatch in this alternate reality.
Where bloody Indiana Jones, for some reason, is looking for Bigfoot.
Yeah, so Indiana Jones in the same universe as Star Wars, maybe. The next one is The Force Awakens DSOTM, which I found out stands for Dark Side of the Moon, as in Pink Floyd.
Oh, if you play them at the same time, it lines up.
Yeah,
so does Paul Blart Mall Cop. I don't care. Move on.
I watched it and it doesn't line up.
Okay, I care even less now.
So the next one is 1313, which is the cancelled game that was going to be about a random bounty hunter on the level 1313, and then halfway through development, George Lucas said change it to Boba Fett's origin story. So. It might not have been good.
George Lucas has a bit of a history with meddling with games like that. This is a bit of a detour, but there was going to be... Star Detour. Literally. There was going to be a Darth Maul action game, which was going to... where Darth Maul was going to be the playable character, and the villain of the game was, I think, Darth Talon.
Right, yeah.
You know why I mistook Raven and Talon, who is this red Twi'lek with like black tattoos all over her.
Yeah.
I think Darth Maul, but Twi'lek and the lady.
And not much clothes. And George Lucas was a big fan of her design, apparently.
Yeah, but he was like, when he saw the two of them and saw that they look fairly similar, he's like, no, they're friends. She's not the villain, they're friends.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit weird, but that was a plan.
A little racist, but you know.
Next one is Endor Cavalry. And I think this is a reference to Blurgs being in one of the Ewoks movies. I think in the second one. You know Blurgs?
I know Blurgs from the first episode of Mando.
Second episode.
Both.
Yeah, and also in the Ryloth arc in Clone Wars, and also in Rebels.
Yeah, they're the weird, like, they kind of look like piranhas with legs.
Yeah, they're kind of a bit weird, but I think they were originally in the Ewoks movies. I don't think the Ewoks ever rode them, so this might be a mistake. But people ride them in other material that is canon. Alright, and Ewoks movies are coming to Disney+.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch them.
Yeah, speaking of things that are on Endor, there's Mount Sorrow, which is the big crying mountain.
A big sentient mountain that cries and I think also grants wishes or something.
Yeah, it's better in canon. So in Legends, when it first appeared, it was in an Ewoks comic book. Back when Ewoks were effectively treated as Care Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean that literally. That's what the Ewoks animated TV show was like.
I forgot that exists.
Yeah, I'd never watched it, but apparently it's terrible. But there was an Ewoks comic book, and in one of them there was Mount Sorrow, which was a sentient crying mountain, and in canon it exists on Dagobah. Yoda visits it and brings it back to life.
Wow.
So, and people had a problem with sentient rock creatures then, and now they must be loving Geode. He says sarcastically.
Geode is not the first sentient rock in Star Wars canon either. About a year ago, like I think it was the last arc of Jason Aaron. No, I don't think it was Jason Aaron anymore. The first arc of the first run of the Star Wars mainline comic.
Yeah.
There's a big whole. Basically, the whole planet is a big rock person, and there are smaller rock people on it.
That just sounds like a transformer.
Yeah, it's just Unicron. But basically, the plan is rebels want to blow the planet up and to get like several Star Destroyers caught in the blast.
What?
So they send C-3PO and Chewbacca to do it, but C-3PO notices that there are moving rocks, that this planet isn't actually
This is actually canon.
Yeah.
Fine.
You know,
Marvel
the comics are not always good.
Yeah, Marvel comics can get a bit whack. Like I said in a previous episode, a lot of the time the Marvel comics, they just do so much stuff in between the movies. I'm just like, take a bloody breather. It's only a couple year gap.
They are at war.
I know, but why do they all gotta pick up lightsabers and fight people?
Yeah, that's a little dumb. But there is bound to be like action all the time.
Yeah, but speaking of lightsabers, the next one is Sentient Sabers.
Go on.
Well, I don't really know what this means, but I think it might be the idea that lightsaber kyber crystals are sentient.
They do have a strong connection to the Force.
Yeah.
We know that.
It's like the idea that you don't choose the kyber crystal chooses you. Oh, I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah, like wands in Harry Potter. Are they sentient in Harry Potter?
Not kind of.
Yeah.
They don't have thoughts, but they have a will or something.
Whoa, where there's a will, there's a way.
Indeed. When there's a will, there's a way.
I
I don't know how that would align with both Luke and Rey being able to use Anakin's lightsaber properly.
Yeah.
But I guess there could be an argument that Luke didn't meet his full potential until he made his own in the cave in the deleted scene that may or may not be canon.
Oh, well, the one that, yeah. I like that scene. It also has Darth Vader calling out to Luke, doesn't it?
I don't think I've seen that scene then.
No, it's the one in Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's an alternate cut when Darth Vader's actually calling out to Luke, trying to, like, get Luke to acknowledge him so he knows where he is so he can kill him.
Notice me, senpai.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, I guess if that means that Rey didn't meet her full potential until she made that yellow lightsaber of hers, cool things might be in store for her.
Maybe, well, probably not, because Daisy Ridley's not going to return.
Well, they can still make her the Bendu in the books.
Yeah, ooh.
As we discussed, I hope in Big Oppo, because
hopefully, if it was the Newt Gunray Spunkstone,
then
that's
it
gone.
will never. Then my bloody fan theory that Ezra, Rey, and Ahsoka are like the new Force triumvirate.
Yeah, I like that theory.
You said that you don't when we talked about it.
Well, maybe I don't.
Are you lying to me, or are you just changing your mind? I like one of those options.
I don't think I'm lying. I think I might be changing my mind because it sounds better, but I don't think they should become the next.
Yeah, like when I first talked about it, I said that they're going to be like the new like brother, sister, and father.
Oh yeah, that's the way you
son,
said about it.
Son, daughter, and father.
Which I don't like.
Yeah, but if they're like the new paradigm, like the three of them somehow,
yeah,
that could be better.
Talking about the mother, daughter, and all that, this next one is The Overlords. And this is in reference to the episode Overlords, which is one of the Mortis episodes of Clone Wars. So this goes into, like, you know, the ones, as they're called, which is mother, daughter, father. Well, no, yeah, father, daughter, son.
Yeah, so father, mother. Daughter, son, and stepmother who isn't canon.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, they are meant to be, like,
they
representations, the embodiments of the aspects of the Force.
I don't know, because like they're also Celestials, aren't they?
It's very much unclear what they are. They are just some sort of higher beings.
I don't think that. I think they're actual. I don't think they're part of the Force. I think they like the Jedi. They use the Force, but they use it in a different way.
More powerful.
Yeah, but powerful, what does that mean?
Well, they are powerful enough for...
On Mortis, which is their place.
Okay. It can be argued that Mortis is like a magnifier of their powers.
Yeah.
But they can also shapeshift. Well, it is Mortis.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. I think they do have some sort of power. Yeah. Like with the Force, what does it really mean? I don't know. There also possibly Celestials, which are like these precursor species before the Rataka. They created like center point stations and stuff.
Rataka are not canon anymore, are they?
No, they're not anymore. But neither are the Celestials, so who cares?
Yeah, we don't know who they are. We just know that they are important enough to be like referenced in Rebels. Spoilers.
Yeah, on the big wall.
On the big wall.
Which is pretty cool. I like that wall. It was almost in a thumbnail for one of our episodes.
Yeah, for Kathleen Kennedy's Appreciation Hour.
Yeah, rest in peace.
She's not dead.
No, I mean the episode is. And the next one is Trade Federation ST. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know what that means. It could...
Sequel trilogy, maybe?
Yeah, that's the only thing. But they weren't in the sequel trilogy. Maybe that's the thing.
Well, they weren't even in the George Lucas version of the sequel trilogy.
But like maybe like they should have been in the sequel trilogy. Like on Canto Bight.
Are you saying that DJ stands for Newt Gunray somehow?
What? Doot Gunray.
Yeah.
Doot Gunray.
Drate Generation.
Wow.
Generation.
Drate Jedi.
Ooh.
No, but maybe it's like they should have been in like some of the rich people profiting from both sides. Like that's what the Trade Federation sort of did.
Yeah,
because
that is true.
During the Clone Wars, even though they pretty overtly sided with the Separatists and were literally on the Separatist Council, they still were tied with the Republic. They still had a seat in the Senate, and they still like did all their stuff, like all their trading with the Senate. It's like with the Republic. I was like, are you serious? The next one is Naboo Ducks.
Okay.
So I think this is in reference to Qui-Gon saying we'll be sitting ducks. And if you remember when like they go through the planet, after they've gone through the planet core in the Gungan ship and they go into feed.
The bongo.
Is it called the bongo?
Yeah.
What the
We shall give you one bongo.
God damn it. That's weird. But when they like emerge on the surface of the water, they scare away a load of ducks or swans or something.
Yeah.
So ducks are canon in Star Wars.
Dragons are canon, harpies are canon. I don't care.
Yeah. Next one is Star Wars City 1985.
Do you know what that is?
It's a movie. Apparently not a very good one. But it's basically about this guy who goes into the desert, into this city in 1985. And it's from Star Wars. It's from 1985 maybe. But he goes to this city and it's got stuff to do with the Star Wars program, which is like Ronald Reagan during the Cold War.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all it is. So it's technically not a rip-off of Star Wars. It's like set in the present day, which was 1985. So, yeah. Next one is the first script for Star Wars. So there's several first scripts for Star Wars.
What are there?
Yeah, so there was a rough draft, which has a lot of the stuff that became the Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. The comic that's based on the rough draft of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Featuring a green alien Han Solo and Lasat Chewbacca.
Yeah, and a load of other stuff.
Yeah.
And then there was also a first draft, which there's some weird names, considering it's the second one. But yeah, there's like quite a lot of things relating to that. I do want to read the opening crawl for the rough draft because I think it's kind of interesting. So this is like, as we were talking about with early Clone Wars, this is literally earliest Star Wars. Star Wars in its earliest primeval form. That's the wrong use of the word, but who cares? So, until the recent Great Rebellion, the Jedi Bendu were the most feared warriors in the universe. For 100,000 years, generations of Jedi perfected their arts as the personal bodyguards of the Emperor. They were the chief architects of the invincible Imperial Space Force, which expanded the Empire across the galaxy, from the celestial equator to the furthest reaches of the Great Rift. Now these legendary warriors are all but extinct. One by one, they have been hunted down and destroyed as enemies of the new Empire by a ferocious and sinister rival warrior sect, the Knights of the Sith. So
it's pretty interesting.
Yes, yeah. So in a rough draft, then the Republic was an empire.
Yeah, well, the Empire did not necessarily have like bad connotations always.
Well, it
probably did in the 70s a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's probably why he changed it. But like, they were the bodyguards of this empire, of the Emperor.
Yeah.
What on earth's the?
Why did he need? No, never mind. But like, it has some baffling things, like a celestial equator.
I was like, what is that? This sounds cool.
I guess that's meant to. I guess that's like where the galaxy would be at its widest.
I guess, and there's also like the Great Rift, which is like, is that the edge of the galaxy?
I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds.
That's
cool.
like the space between galaxies.
I wouldn't mind if they used that kind of terminology in actual Star Wars.
Yeah, it
if I'm
sounds
being
pretty
honest.
cool. And like the rebels are the bad guys this time because they are the actual Empire. That's the new people.
I think the rebels, like the main protagonists, are still kind of rebels.
Well, they from the description they struck me as more like the anti-rebellion, because like the rebellion are the bad people who overthrew the government. It's more of a coup than rebellion.
So there was the Great Rebellion, which was where the Knights of the Sith overthrew the previous empire to become the new empire. Which then was headed by the Knights of the Sith, which did like the culling of all of the other people.
Is it meant to be like not safe?
Huh?
Like there's a na and there's a C, so maybe it was like a parallel, like a even a more obvious parallel to the Nazis.
Oh, maybe actually Narsith. Yeah, that's true. And the capital of the new empire is Alderaan, but it's a gas giant.
Okay.
And the main character, well, it starts with Kane Starkiller and his two sons, Deke and Anakin, and they live on the I believe it's the the fourth moon of Utapau.
What?
Yeah.
Utapau? Why?
I know. Utapau appears in the earliest draft of Star Wars.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. And so I think Utapau is in the Kessel system in this. And they go to and they leave Utapau for their homeworld called Aquilay, which is like Aqualesh. And that's ruled by King Chaos and Queen Breha, which is Bail Organa's wife.
Wow.
Yeah.
So George Lucas just had a whole repository of these names and places.
Yeah,
and just switches them around.
It's true, but get ready for the Galactic Emperor. His name. Can you guess what his name is?
Jar Jar.
You wonder why he hasn't reused his name. It's Kos Dashit. Spelt Dashit. I wonder why he hasn't used it again. Yeah, it's kind of amusing. But I believe Kos Dashit does appear as the Galactic Emperor in the Star Wars comic. I really need to get the Star Wars comic.
It's
because it sounds really cool.
It's interesting, and it's kind of jarring when Star Wars, then jarring. But
yeah.
when I read it, I didn't find it like that fun.
Yeah, but I think I would just really be fascinated by the earliest draft of like how everything's familiar but yet so different. Yeah. Like, because Darth Vader, Anakin, Luke, they're all like different people. Luke Skywalker is in the rough draft. That's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, he's basically in the Obi-Wan role, and also the Darth Vader role, because he is mostly more machine than man.
Yeah, but there is also Darth Vader, isn't there?
Yeah, there is like a Vader figure.
Yeah, which is kind of.
He might just be called Darth Vader.
Yeah, I can't be bothered to go through and find out, but. Yeah, there's also a character called Gordon, who's literally stolen from Flash Gordon, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So I give that thumbs up.
I give it also thumbs up, even though I forgot what the actual thing was that we're talking about. The first
draft. Okay. Yeah, the first script. Now the next one is less is gay clones. And I assume that this goes to the age-old question: if a clone and a clone did the deed, is that masturbation?
Let's just say no and move on.
Yeah. Well, the next one is Annie's real father. So, we've already talked about how in Legends, Plagueis created Anakin. In canon, Palpatine created Anakin. But who is Anakin's real father?
Well,
so, yeah.
If we can trust Shmi, then no one.
Yeah, that's what I think. When I was reading this yesterday, I think the answer is no one, yeah. No! No! That's not what I meant.
Rey is Anakin's father.
Rey equals Anakin's father.
But we of course know that Rey isn't no one anymore.
Yeah, so she's actually
if
Shmi.
Ryan Johnson had his way.
If no one is the father and Rey is no one and Shmi is also Rey, then Rey is still Shmi and gave birth to Anakin. So it still doesn't makes sense. It's still the virgin birth of Virgin Mary.
That would also explain the mirror scene where there's like a fractal ray.
Oh my god.
Like an unending cycle of rays. Which I think was like what I was thinking that all was like a reference to. I don't know if we discussed it on the Society group chat, but I'm pretty sure I said something like that.
Yeah, I've always thought that her destiny, like her parentage, doesn't matter because the person that she needs to aspire to be is actually herself rather than her parents.
Whereas I thought it was more of a Dave Lister being his own dad situation.
Yeah, putting his baby self under a pool table in Liverpool. That's actually what happened with Anakin. And that was in the rough draft. Is the city of Liverpool on the fourth moon of Utapau.
Yeah. Although Rey being her own parents doesn't line up too well with her also being Anakin's
father and mother
parent, but also that would also mean that she has to be Anakin's descendant, which if she's her own mother doesn't really work.
Yeah, maybe it's actually not biological. Maybe it's just by marriage. Because have you heard the song like "Become My Own Grandpa"?
Not necessarily the song, but I am aware of the concept.
Yeah,
whereby your dad marrying someone and you then marrying their mother, you're your own grandpa.
Something like that. But it does make sense, and it does actually work. Not like it's not biological, and there is surprisingly no incest.
And surprisingly, no evidence for this being real.
Yeah, because no, it is real. Annie's real father is no one.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, Annie's real father is no one. Next one is literally just worlds between worlds.
Yeah, that's real.
That's real. That's a thing in Clone Wars. No, not Clone Wars. In Rebels.
It was confirmed in the visual dictionary for episode 9.
Yeah, I think it's pretty dumb that it's this far down on the list, considering it's literally just a thing.
Yeah, same with the rough draft of Star Wars being so far down as well.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like not that well known. Like because when I was younger, there was the whole rumor that, or actually, George Lucas wrote a massive book that was all 6 movies, but then he couldn't make it all into one movie because he was, and to quote Tony Stark's dad, I was limited by the technology of my time, so he made episode 4 instead.
Yeah, I heard something like that too. I don't know where that came from.
I don't know, but it's a big rumor that's apparently spread around the entire world because it's not only in Europe but it's also in America apparently.
Well, it will probably start in America.
Yeah. The next one is Force Awakens abortion, which is a bit spicy, but I think that is actually in reference to a BBC article.
Okay.
When the BBC were basically saying, when Force Awakens was coming out, there was Force Awakens related merchandise for literally everything. And I think BBC were like, oh my god, what's next? And people would joke about that being a thing. I think it's a very distasteful joke, I guess, but whatever. Screw you, Snoke in a jar. Let's move on to...
I don't think that abortions are that distasteful, but still.
No, I mean, as a joke. I don't know.
It's better than Force Awakens euthanasia.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Poor Shots is the next one on the Size Noodles one.
Poor Shots.
Poor Shots. Yeah, this is, I think, in a reference to an E.C. Henry video when he actually did an analysis of all of the shots taken in, I believe, episode 4, but also the rest of the original trilogy, to see if the stormtroopers actually were poor shots.
And it turns out that they are actually much better at aiming than anyone else.
Yes, because Death Star scene doesn't count because they weren't actually trying to shoot Han, Leia, and Luke because they were trying to let them go.
Yes, because they were trying to find out where the rebel base was.
Yeah, exactly. People forget that, but that's literally in the movie. Tarkin literally just says it.
This isn't, they explained it actually in the comic and the novelization.
It's
not
Tarkin
says it.
It's not even a theory. It's in the movie. But yeah, this theory, the poor shots thing, is if you tally up all of the shots for Han, Leia, and they miss more than than they hit, like by a big margin. So it actually turns out that in at least in New Hope, stormtroopers did mostly hit their shots, and especially in the Tantive V4 boarding scene, when the stormtroopers hit way more shots than the rebels do.
Yeah.
So, because a lot of rebels die.
To bring you this information.
Indeed. The next one, I really have got nothing, and that's Reformation parallels. I assume this is like Protestant Reformation, but like how?
I don't know.
Is this like, or what if it's like a callback to our proposition of check historical parallels in Star Wars? That was a joke made quite a while ago.
Yeah, that this would be what our podcast will be about.
Yeah, or at least an episode.
Yeah, even before we were like playing around with bloody Agents of Shill or whatever.
Oh god, yeah, that's true.
Thank God we didn't do that.
I know, I think it's kind of entertaining doing the Clone Wars still.
Yeah, it's great, but
yeah, I don't really know what Reformation parallels is at all.
is it maybe like that just like Protestants, the Jedi are meant to like live in austerity and purity and
Oh,
whatever?
that's a good point, actually.
I don't know enough about Protestants.
So is it, so they thought that like the Catholics they were too wealthy and then should go back to a more austere lifestyle. On the whole, not as extreme as like as previous sects had wanted, but yeah. Is it like the reverse in Star Wars then?
Could be
like they become too monk-like.
And they need to be more like, that's just like, life, man.
Actually, no, it doesn't necessarily have to be reversed, does it? Because the Catholics...
Yeah, they were too detached from people.
Yeah, because in Catholicism, you don't have a direct link to God. You have to go through a priest. Mm-hmm. So in a way, you could say the Jedi are actually the monks or the ecclesiasts that people would go through in order to contact the Force. Whereas what a Jedi should be is similar to how like the Protestant Reformation wanted people to be able to have a direct link to God.
Yeah, and
like
the Jedi are just helping people to find it.
Yeah, or should be helping people to find it.
Yes.
Rather than being monks that fight wars all the time.
Yeah, and keep all the Force to themselves.
Yeah, and literally have the Jedi Archives were the most comprehensive thing in the galaxy, weren't they?
Probably.
And they were not available to the public.
Yeah.
Very similar to how the Vatican Archives and all of the other books owned by Catholics were very, like most of the knowledge in Europe at the time.
Yeah, like because no one else really A, knew how to read, B, had the books, C, most of them were probably written in Latin.
Yeah, exactly. And education was in the hands of the Catholics at the time. That's quite interesting. We learned something today.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
The more you know.
The next one is Christmas INS Lore Revelations. Now, Christmas INS is Christmas in the Stars, which is a Christmas album that is sung by Anthony Daniels as C-3PO. And it's about Star Wars themed Christmas songs and stories about a droid factory where the robots make toys year round for S-Claws. So, yeah, it's kind of...
First off, it's obviously incorrect because it's Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah, as we know, yeah. That's canon.
Yes. Second off, I wish I didn't know about this.
Yeah, it's from 1980.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it's quite way away.
Way away.
But I love one of the song's titles is "What Can You Get a Wookiee for Christmas?" and then in brackets, "When he already has a comb." Yeah, what can you get a Wookiee for Christmas? So I guess the lore revelations is like, is Christmas canon in Star Wars? Do droids make the toys for, I was about to say Jesus, for
Baby Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, for Father Christmas at Christmas, The answer is no, because this is
Life Day is canon.
Yeah, this is just a tie-in album. Life Day came out before this Christmas album, anyway.
Yeah, Christmas special was like 77, right?
Yeah.
Was 78?
70, whatever.
It was like very, very shortly after the movie.
Yeah, exactly. So
The New Hope, I mean.
Kind of interesting. But in a
like,
weird
it was
way.
pretty common to have tie-in albums like that. I mean, I used to have an Alf tie-in song CD.
An Alf one. Was he in Pog form?
No, I don't think he was back in Pog form yet. Or maybe that was after he was back in Pog form. Sorry, Milhouse.
So he sold Bart's soul for. Traded it for Alf in Pog form.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. The next one is L plus L equals R. So I think this is
So Luke and Leia have a child together.
Which is Rey.
Right.
Yeah, so...
That's a pretty cursed theory.
It's a cursed theory, but I was thinking about it, and I don't really think it lines up in any way. I mean, obviously it's not true, obviously.
It doesn't line up too much, but it might explain why Luke is hiding and why Leia and Han have
Their
fallen
estranged
out.
relationship. Are they divorced?
I don't think they're technically divorced.
So there's just an estranged relationship.
Yeah.
After
And strained.
After Kylo turned to the dark side.
They don't meet in the movie, do they? No, they do.
Yeah, they do at the end of episode 7. Before...
middle.
Yeah, middle, yeah. The one in the middle, the Mendo. Is Rey born after Kylo turns to the dark side? Surely not.
I think they're like same-ish age.
I think Rey is significantly younger, but like Kylo's...
No, I would say significant.
I think Kylo's 30 and Rey is 20.
Surely Kylo isn't 30.
No, I think Kylo...
Was he alive around the time of
he was conceived at Endor.
You're thinking of Poe.
Oh yeah, well he was conceived around that time. Maybe when... maybe after Jakku.
Bloodline is set like 8 years before the movies. I think. And I don't think he's had his falling out with Luke yet.
Yeah, I'm not entirely... Apparently he was born in 5 ABY.
Huh.
Which is...
Mando time.
Mando time's 8 AB... No.
Oh yeah, 8.
Yeah, 8 ABY.
5 years after episode 6, which is 3.
Yeah, even though in Legends it used to be 5. Didn't it? But also, Kylo Ren was born on Chandrila.
Yeah, we've established that.
Which we've mentioned before. So if Ben Solo was born in 5 ABY, I'm just going to search when Rey was born. Rey Skywalker. As much as people hate her surname, she's born 15 ABY. So 10 years after Kylo was born.
That didn't even cross my mind. Like, okay.
Yeah.
That makes it even stranger how petulant he is in episode 7 and 8 and 9.
Yeah. So she born 15 ABY and then died in 35 ABY.
What? Oh yeah,
she got resurrected.
Why do they keep the death dates?
Well, it's the same reason why they keep the death dates for Ahsoka.
Yeah, and it's not helpful in any way.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah. So L plus L equals R. I mean... No, it was before Luke went into hiding, so I mean...
I guess, but too long before. And also why, and also no thank you.
Yeah, no thank you. Speaking of no thank you, C-3PO penis card.
What?
Yeah, so this is actually in reference to... Well, this is a top trump card. No, it's not a top trump card. I think it's a Star Wars trading card. No, it is a bloody top trump card. It's just that depicts C-3PO, and the shot used was very unfortunate, and it is real. And I actually recommend our viewers to search this up on your incognito tab. There's an article by Polygon on it. That's quite good. And this is what it looks like.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it literally looks like C-3PO has a huge stiffy. But it's just the trick of the light and the shot being quite poorly chosen.
It's like the first thing you see. Like,
yeah,
how could they miss that?
Apparently, the top Trump people, the Lucasfilm people, none of them noticed that bloody C-3PO had this raging bloody, I don't know what Star Wars euphemism.
Ralph Boner.
Yeah, Ralph Boner. His raging Quicksilver. And more like quick gold.
Hey.
But yeah, it's from the shot when he's coming out of the oil bath. In A New Hope, but it's a pretty cursed image.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's real. I saw this on the Iceberg. I was like, what? What on earth is this?
It's kind of like how, a lot of the old Disney drawings have penises in them.
Yeah.
King Triton's castle or the Aladdin logo or whatever.
Yeah, and Ariel's wedding, the bishop had a massive hard-on. Yeah. I think we might have to lean forward.
Oh yeah. We're getting a little silent. We're being silenced! The bloody SJWs! We have to go to the Star Wars YouTube and type in a quote by bloody Gina Carano.
Yeah, don't do that. That's really fucking scummy.
Yeah, what? Scum and villainy.
Yeah.
On the last Star Wars YouTube video, and I'm probably gonna keep on doing it, I started typing out Kathleen Kennedy made Star Wars better.
Oh, fair enough.
It's probably not gonna do anything, but hey.
Yeah, because they've got that hate tirade going on the entire time, don't they?
I got at least one like, so
that's cool. I haven't been able to find anything non-hate filled on those High Republic videos.
Yeah, because it's top to bottom.
Yeah, it's
still, it's been weeks.
Who? Why? Why do they care so much?
Maybe I'm gonna do that as the on Air-Deraan thing.
Get us some. Don't get us involved in that. I don't want it because, unfortunately, I don't feed the trolls. I think is the biggest takeaway.
But my views.
And they're not going to click on the thing.
No.
The next one though is Boba Fett is Luke's mother.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't really know what this is about, if I'm being perfectly honest.
This kind of feels like Star Wars fandom crossing over with the One Piece fandom, where, specifically because there are characters who can A, change anyone's age, and B, change anyone's biological sex with a single touch of their hand.
Yeah.
Literally anyone could be the main character's mother, who is, as of yet, unknown.
Huh.
Anyone, any age, any sex, any gender can be anyone's mum. So it's a running joke that whenever anyone is introduced, they're somebody's mum.
So Boba Fett, maybe that's what it's a reference to. Boba Fett is not really a space pirate, but, space bounty hunter. So space privateer?
Would that mean that... No. But how? Does that mean that he's not Padme's son, or that Boba Fett is Padme, or...
What is Boba Fett Padme?
No!
Well, I think we should take this away in original trilogy, in isolation.
I see, okay.
So it's has... Oh, so... one could say that Boba Fett wearing the mask in the original trilogy, because Leia would recognize him as her mother. So, this is the stupidest sentence I've ever said in my life. But, it doesn't matter with Luke, because Luke doesn't know what his mum looks like. Because Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet and that they were twins.
And George kind of forgot that he already made Leia say that she knows her mother's face.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Kind of a bit whack. But I think we can categorically say that this fan theory is probably a joke.
Probably.
The next one is not a fan theory, nor is it a joke, because it is Luke. which, as we know, is the clone of Luke Skywalker from Last Command, I think it was.
Somewhere in the Thrawn trilogy.
I think Last Command is the third one in the Thrawn trilogy. He was created by Jorus Sabayoth. I think it's kind of dumb. It's my least favourite part of the Thrawn trilogy.
Jorus Sabayoth, who himself is a clone of Jorus Sabayoth.
Yeah, who appears in Outbound Flight with George Cardass, who is George Lucas.
And Luke Skywalker.
Oh, from the April Fools. I was a bit disappointed that this wasn't Luke with 3 U's. Because that would have
two
actually...
apostrophes,
Because I feel like that would have actually been a good size Snoodles deep dive one. The next one is original sequel plans.
Right. Those were kind of talked about a fair amount recently.
Yeah, but it appears that George Lucas was always changing his mind.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that what people have been talking about recently, with like Darth Maul being the big bad and it all being about the Star Wars underground, I don't think that aligns with like the George Lucas's plans that were thrown around like 5 years ago.
No, they 100% don't, because the original ones were going to be following children, like 16, 15, 8, 17, and it's going to be like this young woman, or young girl actually, if she's 16. So she was going to be the main character. So if sequel trilogy haters, who are also massive sexists, your god George Lucas was going to do it anyway, so suck it up.
Suck laser clankers.
Yeah, exactly. Bombat clankins. But yeah, so they were going to be doing all of this kind of stuff. They were going to swim into the Death Star ruins, Death Star crash debris.
To retrieve some sort of a artifact or maybe a lightsaber.
Yeah.
There was someone who was impersonating Darth Vader.
Yeah, who may or may not have been the same character as the Jedi killer, who then became Kylo Ren eventually.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of interesting concepts. I really quite liked the not most recent thing George Lucas has been talking about, but also not the first thing. Like in the middle, the Bendu. He's talked about how he wanted to go into like the microbiotic of Star Wars, of the Force, and a lot of people say that sounds terrible, but I'm like, bring it on! I want it. Give it to me.
I mean, he sort of started doing that in episode 1 and then dropped it. And then I'm pretty sure no one touched it until... Recently it was touched in...
Mandalorian.
And the M count in Mandalorian.
Yeah. But, very unpopular opinion, I do not hate midichlorians.
I think they're fine.
I think they're fine. It kind of works still, in my opinion. It doesn't actually detract. It actually makes the Jedi Order of the prequel trilogy lose their way even more, because they're treating a Jedi's ability to use the Force based on the number of midichlorians in their bloodstream.
Yeah, which is probably like a false correlation anyway.
I don't think it's a necessarily false correlation, but
it could have been.
But I think what happens is so if you have a higher midichlorian count, you have an innate stronger connection with the Force. But if you don't have a high midichlorian count, that doesn't mean you can't grow your connection to the Force. You can still become a powerful Jedi.
And also, connection to the Force and power isn't the same thing.
Yeah, literally. So it's I think it's interesting, and it might also be like a what's it called? What do you call that thingy? Thingy's cat.
Schrodinger's cat?
Schrodinger's cat, so Schrodinger's midichlorians. The midichlorian count, you don't know what it is until you look.
Mm-hmm.
So what's Luke's M count? It might be really big, and he might be innately strong in the Force. It might be... shut up about bigger Luke.
No, I was thinking of Luke Skywalker's midichlorian card.
Oh god. But yeah, it might be really big. It might not be big. So
might be veering slightly to the left.
You never know. It might be a bit wonky. His midichlorian count. Not everyone's a straight shooter.
It's a pencil midichlorians.
Pencil midichlorians.
That's not as cursed as what I said on Saturday about pencil chungus.
Oh god. Well, yeah. So that was like an idea of George Lucas for the sequel trilogy, which I kind of like, but most people hate.
Look, George Lucas has proven himself as being both a competent and less competent filmmaker, but he has really proven himself as a good ideas person.
Yeah, he's an ideas man.
He's a good he can make a good world with.
Whoa, you almost said you were gonna say he is a good world builder, and I think he is a good world builder. Everything in Star Wars is based from what he created.
It's pretty based.
Yeah. I mean, it is because it's pretty left-leaning, so that's pretty based.
Yeah, and it's based on bloody Seven Ronin and bloody
Seven Samurai.
Zach Brannigan. Was it?
Flash Gordon. Yeah, Zach Brannigan. Time-traveling Zach Brannigan. Is he Flash Gordon?
I would watch that.
Well, talking about real-life parallels with something in Star Wars, Mandalorian G's.
As in G the letter?
No, Jeez. So, do you have any thoughts on what this could be?
As in Space Jesus?
As in Jesus, yeah, as in like G's. Like G's Louise.
Do tell, I don't know what this is.
So, in episode 5 of The Mandalorian, season 1, the
gunslinger?
Yeah, the gunslinger. Big hair lady in the docking bay. She says G's.
Uh-huh.
So, is Jesus in Star Wars? This took a lot of research, by the way, to find out what on earth this was in reference to.
I mean, Star Wars doesn't have a consistent track record with words and phrases they lift from English.
Which we talk about last episode.
And last episode, probably also What's It
with God's Forsaken Planet, which you have new information regarding the God Forsaken Planet's arrest.
Why did you have to tie it back to bloody ATT driver? Yes, because like literally an hour after we discussed God-forsaken versus Force-forsaken planet, literally like an hour after that, I read chapter issue 3 of the High Republic Star Wars comic.
IDW comic, wasn't it?
Yes. No, the
actual one. So it might have been number 4. 3
or 4, I think it's 3. Where the Jedi Master Skier, who's a Trandoshan, by the way.
Yeah, oh, look how big that spike was. Rip headphone users.
That always happens when I say the letter S.
Yeah, ooh. Spicy.
Skier. Spice Girls.
But yeah, Skier.
The point being, Skier calls a planet Force-forsaken.
Yeah.
So...
Confirmed?
Yes, but also like the main character in that, who's a black female Jedi. I don't actually.
That's a joke.
That's a joke. Yeah, she has like 17 different swear words that she cycles through. So what does saying one thing even mean?
So do I, honestly.
Yeah, like you have Dank Farrik, who everyone in Mandalorian says.
I think Dank Farrik may be Jesus, like a Jesus Christ equivalent.
Or is Carabas the Jesus Christ?
I think Carabas is shit.
No, Poodoo is. I don't know.
Poodoo is also the same. It's like Jedi Poodoo is piece of. We're not gonna bleep it. We don't bleep that out anyway, so it doesn't matter.
We don't even bleep up Spunk.
Yeah, true. But yeah, Mandalorian G's. So she says G's as in Jesus. So.
Well, if it really offends you, just pretend that she was saying like Force, like short for force, it doesn't matter.
I don't think it offends people. It's like meant to be like.
If it breaks your immersion.
I don't know. It's on like the deep lore thing.
If it's look, just pretend that this is like the beast theory, and what we're seeing is like.
We'll get to that, mate. We'll get to that.
Is that on the list?
That's on the list.
Great. Like what you're seeing and hearing is like an approximation of your seeing, slightly adapted to what you're understanding.
Well, we do see a lot of hell, like I'll see you in hell and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's canon. That's in episode 5.
Who says it?
Han Solo.
Which brings us on to the first one. Well, not the first one, but one of the ones in Lumpy going, and that's Solo's hell.
By the way, do I consistently say Han?
I don't know.
I just got myself saying Han, and I'm not sure if I've ever said Han.
Han is what Lando says, right?
Therefore, it's the cool way to say it.
It is true. But yes, Solo's hell, which I imagine has to be a reference to how he says, "I'll see you in hell."
Right.
Right?
Must be. Because
like, what on earth else is it?
Why did... Oh, you said Lumpy because it's in the new tier.
Yeah.
I thought that Lumpy had something to do with hell.
Oh, imagine.
He does look like something that is spawned from hell. Yeah, that must be like the same thing as the Mandalorian G's.
Yeah.
Because
I think it's that kind of thing. The next one is Mad Magazine Timeline Predictions. So this is actually from I want to say it's from 1982, and it predicts. I in some ways quite well, in other ways not so well. I actually want to read it out to you because it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I've heard of these before, but they don't mean anything. They were just jokes, but go on.
Yeah, so this is from 1982, so this is after Empire Strikes Back came out. So this is from Mad Magazine. Altogether, there will be 12 films in our epic space saga. They will not be made in chronological order.
Obviously. Star
Wars and The Empire Strikes Back, our first 2 films, are actually number 5 and number 6 in the series. Our third picture, really number 2 in the series, will be Send in the Clones.
Wow.
In which we find out that both of Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi were cloned by the same donor. Whatever that means.
Good line of credence to Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Who happens to be the long-lost grandfather of Chewbacca. So Chewbacca's grandfather is the long-lost donor of Obi-Wan.
Who's Obi Prime?
Of Obi Prime and Darth Vader. This sets up a conflict between the Wookiees and the Empire, which becomes the plot for the 4th film, number 3 in the series, Making Wookiee. Meanwhile, in the 6th film, Higher Leia, number 10 in the series, Princess Leia discovers that her grandfather and Han Solo's grandmother were next-door neighbours on Alderaan. That before it was blown up by Darth Vader in Star Wars.
Hey, that was done by Tarkin.
I know, it's a misrepresentation. In a wild galactic battle, so Luke fights Boba Fett, and we are left with the impression that Boba Fett may be Luke's father. And yeah, that's the end of the predictions. So, what?
I would have sworn that there was a bit about Lando, like, marrying C-3PO.
That might have been on the next page. This was only on one page.
Okay, fair.
That I have a picture of.
It's kind of funny, and I do appreciate the Send in the Clones.
Yeah, I mean, they got that right.
They got that exactly right.
Because episode 2 was Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, and if it was called Send in the Clones, that there wouldn't be any space for people being like, well, actually, the clones are defending.
Ooh. Yeah, but it's called Attack of the Clones anyway.
And also, they're invading Geonosis. Just because they're around survivors a pyramid are creating doesn't mean that they're not attacking.
Literally. It's, yeah. I think it's kind of funny. And I like how they make jokes about, everyone being related. Even though the next film, which came out later on,
Episode 6.
Episode 6, obviously, it reveals that Luke and Leia were brother and sister. So they actually got that kind of right.
Yeah.
That everyone turned out to be related. Except they just got the characters. Obviously, it was a joke,
Yes.
but they got it wrong. But yeah, that's kind of funny. The next one, I'm not really doing these in... so the next one is...
You're not releasing them in a chronological order?
Yeah, I'm not doing them immediately left to right because I think that some were funnier. So we've got two suns in the sunset. So this it's literally just like what's on Tatooine. I don't really think it's a theory. I don't think it's a deep dive, but I think it's a reference to something non-existent, and that's like there's a picture of the Star Wars A New Hope set when there is two suns in Tunisia.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that's not true. Yeah. And well, I mean, it's obviously not true, and I don't even know if that's even a theory. That's just what I assumed from this. See, it's like, yeah, we're getting to the point where I'm just like, what? The next one is, oh my god, this blew my mind, and that is Kashyyyk versus Kazook. Have you got any idea what this is?
Not a clue.
Hazard a guess, please.
Is it... no, I'm not going there. Is it like in a rough draft it was spelled something different?
Well, it's actually even...
Is the sister planet of Kashyyyk?
It's actually more cursed. So I found this out. So I searched this up and I was like, what on earth is this? And I found a clip from this philosophy live streamer. And he was like just about to start his live stream. And then someone in his live stream comments was like, I've had it up to here with like your pronunciation of Kashyyyk as Kazook. It is ridiculous. Why are you doing this? And then he said, all right, I've had enough of this bullshit of you saying how to pronounce Kazook. I will prove unequivocally that Kazook is pronounced Kazook, not Kashyyyk. And I was like, what is going on? This is a random philosophy YouTuber who's going to talk about the duality of like the soul or something. And then he pulls up this clip from the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Okay.
And it is the Imperial broadcast to the planet of Kashyyyk. And he says, citizens of Kazook, listen here. And it was like, oh my god. So in the Holiday Special, Kashyyyk is actually pronounced Kazook.
That was literally the first... Well, no, it's not canon, but it was literally the first depiction of A, Kashyyyk, and B, like, the first time it was said.
I think it is the first time it's been said. In the movies, at the very least. Which is actually kind of weird.
That's just freaking unimaginable. How weird.
But it's pronounced Kazook. It's spelt Kashyyyk.
The three Y's by themselves are pretty weird, but like, you know.
But
who says that three Y's in a row can't be pronounced oo?
Yeah, but he said it was pronounced Kazook. I'm like, what? Oh, one of the comments that came not long after this guy like proved it wrong was like that I found quite funny. It was like that is actually the imperialist pronunciation of the planet.
Oh.
So it's actually not the native pronunciation. And he was like, oh, damn, you got me there.
So it's like the Falklands, aka Falklands versus Maldives. Right?
No, Malvinas is what the Argentines call it, but that's a different thing.
Is it?
Yeah, because the Malvinas is what the Argentines call it because they claim it, whereas no one lived there before. So it's not the same thing. It's like calling India India when it's actually called Bharat, isn't it? And even then, India isn't actually... Well, India, the name comes from the Indus River. Mm-hmm. No, it comes from the Indus River, which in Hindu is called the Indus River, I think, or something to that effect, which is where Hindu comes from. Whereas we call the area India after the Indus River, which is how we interpret the name. But they don't. That's not the word for India in India. So that kind of thing.
Kind of like the word for Hungary in Hungarian is Magyar.
Yeah, and not hungry.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think we talk about that last episode.
I feel like we did.
Yeah, how Hungary is named Hungary in English because of the Huns, probably.
Mm-hmm.
No, we talked about that in our pre-clip. I actually
Yes.
hate that term. I'm never going to say that ever again.
Pre-clip.
Yeah, I hate that. That sounds awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in our mic check. That's
our
what it
mic
is.
check, yeah.
Which in itself is pretty cursed.
Yeah.
I don't think I saved that one because it was too cursed.
It wasn't cursed, it was just like it can be interpreted wrongly.
True.
The next one, after that mind blown of Kazook, which I actually, that was pretty crazy. The next one is Mortis, which we've already pretty much discussed.
Yeah.
But it was... So, with the New Jedi Order, with Luke fighting Abeloth, like we talked about earlier, Luke was actually going to be looking for Mortis, where the Celestials, where the Ones came from.
Mm-hmm.
But this was just before, basically, the Disney purchase. So it was actually setting up and alluding to the next series of books that never came. So Luke was going to go to Mortis.
What could have been?
Yeah, but no longer because Disney bought Star Wars and it didn't
Killed
happen.
our childhoods.
No, not because it was entirely necessary. People act as though if George Lucas remained at the helm and made a sequel trilogy, it wouldn't just retcon the Legends. It 100% would just retcon it.
Like a meme that I saw like pretty recently was like people always claim that Disney buying Star Wars completely wrecked everything and everything before then was great. But literally like the last Star Wars thing that came out before then was Star Detours.
Oh god.
And like Kinect Star Wars.
Star Detours never came out though.
Well, it was
made, yeah.
It was made.
Yeah. I missed one actually from earlier. It's not that good, so it's called Solo is About Lucas.
I don't care.
So I think it's about like George Lucas used to race cars, and when he was young, he crashed his car and almost died.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, he decided he's gonna go home and rethink his life, and then joined film school. So maybe that's about like how Solo changed his life after a near-death experience.
Yeah,
I don't know. Whatever. But back to Lumpy. You got Bigger Luke, which we all know.
Just go watch the Mr. Sunday Movies video.
I can't even find that anymore. I think they deleted it.
Oh no!
I think that was a Mr. Sun. I think that was pre-Purge.
I don't think it's that old.
Are you sure?
Unless there were more purges than I think.
There was definitely one big purge. This was like...
Wasn't that on a podcast episode that they talked about it?
I don't know. Because like the purge happened when... You may remember like they made a video on like Indiana Jones, all the Indiana Joneses versus all the James Bonds. Mm-hmm. That was actually a video they made pre-purge. But then when the channel got deleted, they then re-uploaded that along with a load of other episodes all at once, basically. So that's... so I don't know where Bigger Luke has gone. Anyway, back to Star Wars.
Yeah, Bigger Luke doesn't deserve more than just that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But this one is actually even weirder, and this is Alien Exodus. Do you have any idea, like, do you have any guesses about what this is?
Maybe why are there more humans than anyone else?
Oh boy.
Because they're leaving the galaxy?
Oh boy, you almost hit the nail on the head. It was a planned first book in a trilogy from, I believe, early 2000s, like 2003, it was planned, about the origins of humanity in the Star Wars galaxy.
Right.
And it's split into two halves. One half is the present, quote unquote, which is in the far past of Star Wars, like tens of thousands of years ago. And then there was also going to be a flashback scene, which is actually a flash forward, which I'll get there in a minute. Yeah, like we'll get there. You can probably guess. So basically, a long time ago, humans existed, like in the Star Wars galaxy, and they like lived on this random planet that was enslaved by this empire. It's called the Valian Empire. So this is way before like all the Ratakan and all of that kind of stuff. And then humans were enslaved, and this is how the humans became part of the galactic community with all the Bith and like the Rhodians and the Hutts and all that kind of stuff. And and it's like about all this kind of stuff and like them trying to find a home world. And then they eventually go to Corellia. And then Corellia becomes the home world of the humans after they were enslaved and taken from this random planet in space. But then there's a flashback, which is in 25th century Earth.
No.
Yes. This is not canon, by the way. So yeah, 25th century Earth, when the human exodus. This part's called human exodus, when the humans are going to try and like leave Earth after like global warming and like everything's going terribly. And what was it? Like the computers have taken over the world and are force feeding the people of Earth drugs to control their emotions, or all that kind of stuff. And it's following these main characters called this computer hacker called Dale Hendar, this space
like Dash Rendar.
Almost, yeah. This space pilot called Antonia Corelli, and her lover Paxton Solo.
No.
So basically, when the humans are escaping Earth, they go through this. I have never heard of this. This is insane to me. So they go through this wormhole that not only transports them half a way across the universe, but also into the far, like, distant past, like millions of years in the past, and they end up in they crash land on this planet, and they're like, what is going on? And then they're like attacked by a lot of pirates that are like made up of Rhodians and Bith. I don't know why it's always Rhodians and Bith, but don't ask me. And then they're like, there's like pew pew battle, and then they're like, we got to get off this planet. And then Antonio Corelli, she gets shot and she dies.
No.
And they're like, let's name this planet after her, Corellia. And then they leave the planet, but they vow that it will later become humanity's homeworld, one day in the future. Wow. And they will build a free society there. And so...
I can't believe this was going to be a thing.
Yeah, it's insane to me.
Like, the sources that you found for this, like, where did you find
It's on Wikipedia.
Right.
So apparently this was gonna... Well, I don't think in the state it is written about on Wikipedia, I don't think that would ever be published by Lucasfilm.
At least not canon.
No, 100% not. Because it was, I think it was one of the the last hurrah of like Ace Books. Like it was going to be the last contribution to Star Wars Legends, basically. Before they would, I think they would lose their license or something like that. No, actually, no. Sorry, I got it wrong. So at the time, Bantam was publishing all the books, all the Star Wars books, and it would later go to Del Rey. But this would be published by Ace Books, which would be like one of their first Star Wars thing.
By the way, Del Rey means from Rey.
Whoa! Oh my god!
Rey is Anakin's mother, confirmed.
That's insane.
Back in 2005 or whatever.
But this book was going to be written by Robert J. Sawyer, who, do you know who that is?
Nope.
Well, apparently, something, this story would then be used, or a lot of this story. No, actually, no, it's got nothing to do with Robert J. Sawyer, but I do recognise the name. But Ace Books used the plot line and a lot of the ship designs from this for an Alien Chronicles trilogy.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, and I think this is about Alien, as in Alien.
Yeah, like Ridley Scott's Alien.
Yeah, so they basically used a lot of those ideas for the Star Wars prequel that makes no sense and like breaks everything.
Well, I'm glad it didn't happen, but I would also kind of want to read it.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't want it to be like... I don't want people like endlessly like going around like, is this canon and how does this fit in? But I would like to see it.
Yeah. It reminds me of some of that fan film. That is the worst fan film I've ever seen that I kind of want to show you. Not because of like how it was made. I think it was really well made. But just the plot hurts me. And it's about a Indiana Jones type characters finding a Star Destroyer crashed in the Algerian desert in the 1930s.
Just Stargate.
Yeah, and there's also Nazis. And yeah.
That is also just Stargate, but the bad miniseries that we don't talk about.
Miniseries?
Stargate Origins.
Oh, Stargate Origins, yeah. I think we should now move on to a more serious topic, and that is the Jizz Age. This is the first one of Abeloth.
What?
No, the Abeloth tier.
Oh, right.
Which is the Jizz Age.
Literally every time you switched tiers, I got very confused. So maybe if we... Well, we're not doing this again, because this is like as one-off as our episodes can get. But
yeah. So, the Jizz Age, any thoughts on this?
It's something about music, that I can tell you for sure.
Yeah, I think this is just a reference to jazz, like the jazz age.
Yeah, like the 1930s of the Star Wars timeline?
Yeah, so this is presumably, if the prequels or episode 1 is 1920s, the roaring 20s of Star Wars, then is the prequels the 1930s, which is like jazz.
You mean, by prequels, you mean 2 and 3?
Yeah, 2 and 3, yeah, which are 10 years after.
Yeah, that would sort of line up.
Hence why you got the Nazis as well coming. The boys are back in town.
Oof.
Yeah.
Hence why the Bith are playing like in dingy old pubs.
Yeah.
Because it's no longer like the mainstream.
Yeah. So that would be... Yeah, the 1970s. The original trilogy is the 1970s of Star Wars.
Well, it would line up more like the 50s, 60s at best, but
yeah,
I'm at best. But
I'm at best, yeah. I think we should, every time we say best, we should say that as like in honor.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Jizz Age, Soul.
Stop saying that. I might need to. I've been bleeping that before. I think I will.
No, it's fine. You said we haven't bleeped it.
No, I changed my mind and bleeped it in the Clone Wars movie.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry, I'm not editing this. It's fine.
Yeah, the next one though is humans in Star Wars are bees.
Yeah.
So a quick rundown. This is a theory to explain why female characters in Star Wars are few and far between, but almost always in high positions of power.
Yeah, because they are all basically space bees.
God damn it.
What?
This is so stupid.
Yeah, but they are just like portrayed as humans for our feeble human minds to conceive of them and not have like a lot of cognitive dissonance. That's not that's not what cognitive dissonance is.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean. It's
I know it.
It's just a strange theory, and even if there was a possibility that it could have been real, like there have been a lot more female characters in Star Wars since, so...
Yeah, but I like this theory more than, like, Boba Fett's Luke's mother and stuff.
Yeah, it's not the worst theory. Like,
no.
When it comes to the original trilogy, I wouldn't say it lines up,
yeah,
but it's not completely inconceivable.
Yeah, but, like, it doesn't not make sense that humans aren't actually humans. Like, I can buy that. Like, I know in canon humans are humans. If it turned out, like, from the start, that humans actually were just, like, the most popular alien species.
Would it also mean that, like, the Chiss are just blue bees?
Oh my god, bluebies! Let me see your bluebies.
Yeah, you remember like the second ever bloody honest trailer? Bloobs.
Oh yeah, I actually do remember that, yeah. I remember when that came out. Oh my god, I'm old. Yeah, so humans are bees. Not! Next one is...
That's an X-Men the Animated Series joke, not anything else.
Not anything else. I thought I was doing Incredibles. Of like, that's just a coincidence.
I think not.
Yeah. No, but he really enunciates that. Not! That sounded like nut. Weezer discography parallelism.
I know nothing about the band Weezer, so I will let you take care of this if you do.
I'm pretty sure this is the disco Star Wars theme.
I'm not.
Have you heard that? As you know, the like do 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 do.
Oh yeah, actually.
Yeah, it's like the disco version. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but I don't know what parallelism means.
Shall we just move on then?
Yeah, I think it's by the same. It's got links to the Christmas in the Stars album, but it's not canon, guys. It's just a song. The next one though is very strange to me, and that's original editions never existed.
This sounds intriguing.
Yeah, and I think this actually could be true. Like, I know it's like a conspiracy, but like I think it could actually be.
That being that the very first home release is not the same as the cinematic release.
Yeah, I think it's entirely possible that it had been changed, at least very slightly.
Because like George Lucas, like that's kind of his thing.
Yeah, he is notorious for fiddling around with the movies.
Yeah, and like no one on Earth would remember.
Surely not. Yeah, but even though people did watch Star Wars in cinemas for like 5 times in a row and things like that because they were amazed by it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make fun of them for that because I do the same things for Star Wars.
Yeah.
So, they like, yeah. So I can get behind this idea. And especially like, the first home movie release for A New Hope did just have Star Wars on it. It didn't have A New Hope written on it. Did it?
I don't think so.
I don't think it did. But something might have been changed.
Yeah, something very subtle. Like
yeah.
bloody VCRs or Laserdiscs, or it was released on both actually, weren't like that detailed. Like they didn't even work in pixels, but like the quality was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So like, if something was a little different than it was on screen, on the big screen, you wouldn't notice.
And then by the time you could notice, you've already accepted that that's what Star Wars is.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think it's anything big. I think it might just be like color grading. It might be like, maybe it's a little bit shorter. Maybe,
or longer.
Oh, whoa. Princess Leia is actually an addition to the home release. There's no one noticed.
Yeah, it was just a fan that added additional girl power and stuff like that.
Girls, they get it done. They do.
Yeah.
But this is one of the few crackpot theories I actually can't get behind.
Yeah.
The next one though is Virgin Shmi versus Chad Vader. So, a lot to unpack here.
Right. Tell me, because this has too many layers.
It is truly an Ouya. Virgin...
An Ouya?
Ooh, Ouya.
Is that what you said?
Ouyas are that console, aren't they?
The failed Android console that sold like 6,000 units.
Yeah, because it had no games on it.
Yeah.
I remember them. They were really cool looking. They were tiny.
Yeah, they were like...
little cubes.
It wasn't like a cube. It was more like an upside down ice lolly.
Yeah, true.
But
they seem cool. But yeah, back on topic for Virgin Shmi versus Chad Vader. So I assume that with the Jesus parallels, Shmi might be like the Virgin Mary in being, have virgin birth, like presumably. So that's one thing. That's like when she gave birth to Anakin. And Chad Vader, I assume, is because, he was making that babies with Padme.
Right.
But I think it's wrong. I think it could potentially be Chad Shmi versus not Virgin Vader, but it actually could be Virgin Vader, because Vader, as the fan theory goes, got his dick burnt off.
Yeah, but does that mean if you lose your dick, does that make you retroactively a virgin?
Because
think so.
He killed Anakin. We discussed this earlier today.
Oh, right.
Anakin no longer existed. Well, he did exist, but like Vader is for all intents and purposes, Vader is different to Anakin.
Yeah, like a different personality.
Yeah.
Like he dissociated himself.
Yeah, so Vader did not have kids with Padme. And then also, Shmi got married to Cliegg Lars. Now, I don't know if laws or like ideas of consummating a marriage exist on Tatooine. It's possible. So maybe Virgin Shmi versus Chad Vader is just incorrect. It's the wrong way around.
Maybe. But like...
yeah, it's really dumb.
No, but I thought that where you were going with this was that Anakin and Padme never actually slept together.
What?
That's where I thought you were going. Like, part of the reason why Anakin was so surprised that she's pregnant. And
it's because he never slept with her.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he created life just like Darth Plagueis.
Oh my god.
Or Sidious.
Or Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan entered the chat.
No.
Watto entered the chat.
Please stop.
They
entered the Chad.
Whoa, the unreleased... like there's that Star Wars comic when Darth Maul comes back to kill Obi-Wan and Owen Lars shoots him with a big gun.
I don't.
Oh, but there is that. That's a Legends comic.
Okay.
There's also... Well, imagine if there's another one where Watto knocks on the door offering to pay child support.
Please stop.
Okay, never mind.
It would also, explain why Anakin didn't put two and two together when he saw Padme, as you said, very pregnant or extremely pregnant in Bad Batch.
Yeah,
because you're like, of course she's not pregnant. Like, I have nothing to do with this.
Yeah, that was...
Officer, I've never seen this person in my entire life.
Yeah, he was just enjoying a succulent Chinese meal. Yeah, so that is possible.
I don't think it's true.
I don't think it's true, but it is possible.
It's a fun thing to think about.
Yeah, like a lot of things in this, there's a difference between truth and possible.
Yeah.
A big difference.
Yeah.
Speaking of, real Book of the Wills.
That is canon.
That is canon, yeah.
If you consider a certain point of view canon, which you should.
Which is canon.
It is canon. At least mostly canon.
Yeah.
There is an actual book that the Wills write the plot of Star Wars in.
Yes.
It is a comedic segment of that book, yes.
But it is a thing.
It is a thing.
And it has been a thing for
Since,
a long time.
I'm not sure if it was since ever, but...
I think it was in one of the later drafts of Star Wars before, obviously, it was finished.
Yeah, Journal of the Wills was part of the original title.
Yeah, exactly. And so this Journal of the Wills is basically the telling of Star Wars. It's like all the whole story. And
that R2D2 tells to the Wills, whoever they are.
Is that in canon?
I don't know, but every time anyone talks about Journal of the Wills, that's what they talk about.
I think that's kind of weird, but I always imagine the Wills are the Watchers in Marvel.
Possibly.
They're always there, and the Wills. So you got the living force, you got the cosmic force, and what if you got the physical force?
Who are the Wills?
Who are the Wills?
Ooh, what if they are father, son, and daughter? You probably don't like that.
I don't like that, but I know what you mean. Yeah. I would prefer the Wills to be different to father, son, and daughter.
I mean, there was also my theory that we discussed a little bit ago, that the Wills is the name of Yoda's species.
Yes, I really do like that idea. I think. Well, no, I don't. I don't. I don't like that idea.
Come on, this is the second time you've done this.
Yeah. No.
You baited me into being hopeful about you agreeing with me.
I think it's interesting though.
Yeah,
but
I would, possible and true.
I would prefer if the Wills are different, but if it turned out that Yoda species is the Wills, I wouldn't like burn all my Star Wars Blu-rays and stuff. I would be completely fine with that.
Like, I'm not saying that Grogu is writing the Journal of the Wills.
Oh God, imagine.
But I'm saying, like, they're a very long-lived race.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, they're going to outlive, like, literally everyone who is in the galaxy right now.
You never know.
And in the, like, meantime between, like, everyone, all, like, humans and Bith and Rhodians die out, and the next dominant species shows up. They're, like, the only ones left. Yeah. And they write down everything that happened for the next cycle to begin. Kind of like in Mass Effect.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like Battlestar Galactica, but yeah, like in Mass Effect 2.
3, actually, technically.
No, I said Mass Effect 2.
Oh, as
T-O-O.
well. Yeah. How basically there's like a cycle of the dominant species dying out and the next ones coming back.
By the Reapers.
The Reapers. I don't think it was like ever explained who started it. But
yeah, it was the Leviathans, right?
Oh, in the DLC that I never played. So I should come back to
I've never played Mass Effect. How do I know that?
I mean, I think it's probably because like they kind of look like the Reapers.
Yeah.
But then again, they're like the thing about the Reapers is that they are made to look like the dominant species, which is why at the end of Mass Effect 2 you fight a human Reaper.
Yeah, he looks like a child.
Yeah, and it's not great, and it's not a great fight.
And everyone hates it.
I don't.
Yeah, well, you don't like it after the fix.
That was.
I mean, you do like it after the fix.
Also, that was the end of Mass Effect 2. What? Which didn't have a fix. Yeah, you fight the human Reaper at the
I
end
thought
of
that was
Mass
the
Effect
end of Mass Effect 3 with the child.
No. Well, there is like a hallucination child in Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
But I don't think those two are linked. At least they're not confirmed to be linked. Maybe the human Reaper is who indoctrinated Shepard to begin with. But that's unrelated. What I was actually talking about was that like in each cycle, the dominant species like tries to do some more work about like this big super weapon that can destroy the Reapers called the Crucible.
Yes.
And at the end of Mass Effect 3, like you become, I mean, unless you completely fuck up, mess up, you are the last link in that thing, and you use it to destroy the Reapers. Unless like you do like 0 side missions and you get a bad ending in which the Reapers win and humanity and everyone else dies out.
Yeah. In
which case, like there is like a recording of what's his name? Tali, the blue lady. Like there's like a hologram of her that's like a message to the next dominant species of like build the Crucible like we couldn't and destroy the. I keep wanting to say Daleks.
Yeah. Well, they also had a Crucible, didn't they? The Daleks.
Probably.
It's the name of the thing in Stolen Earth.
Yeah.
So.
I don't remember what the thing in Stolen Earth was.
Yeah, right. It was the.
Apparently the Crucible.
Yeah, it was the reality bomb, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Like they were going to destroy all realities.
Fair enough. Not to be confused with the God Bomb. In Jason Aaron's Thor run. Which was a bomb that was meant to wipe out literally everyone who has described themselves as a god that's ever existed.
Did it work?
It would have.
But it didn't.
Well, it didn't have the chance to.
Yeah.
At least I don't think so. But anyway, yeah.
So that's the Real Book of the Wills. But
Real Book of the Wills, written by the Yoda species, who's
like
the link between the cycles of the galaxy.
I think that's interesting. I mean,
I made up most of that on the spot.
Yeah, it is cool though. It's a cool idea. The next one though is Corellia is Alive.
A sentient planet.
I'm not entirely sure if it actually means sentient, but it could mean sentient. Is there any way that you think this means anything?
I mean, I haven't. This is probably based on something in some sort of a book where like they say something like the planet feels something, or like it has life-giving waters or something. I'm imagining this.
Water.
I'm imagining this like in Lord of the Rings. Like there's something in the water that makes the trees like next to the Shire grow a lot and feel and move.
Yeah.
Same with Fangorn, I think.
Yeah, you got the Old Forest and Fangorn with the Entwash and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's... I mean, I don't know. This is what I'm imagining, but I don't know what it is about.
Yeah, I think it could be in reference to how Corellia is a manufactured system. Like, the Corellia system is not natural in Legends. It was created by the Celestials.
Of course it was.
It was stabilized by Centerpoint Station.
Using Vong?
Whoa, not yet. Yuuzhan Vong were defeated on Centerpoint Station.
Oh!
Yeah, so that's a fun tie-in. That's where Anakin Solo died.
Who's Anakin Solo?
Han Solo's youngest... Han Solo and Leia's youngest son.
Oh, Jason Solo's
younger brother. Yeah. He gave his life to defeat the Yuuzhan Vong. But yeah, Centerpoint Station stabilizes the Corellia system using energy, I think, from the Maw. Mm-hmm. So that's a thing. But does that really mean it's alive? I don't know.
So yeah, it sounds like it means the opposite.
Yeah, but then again, it could be a reference to how in canon. So in Legends, Corellia was like this beautiful planet with loads of mountains and greenery, and it was like, oh my god, so amazing. And then in canon, it's a shithole, isn't it? It's like the most polluted planet you've seen in canon so far.
It's a factory system.
Yeah, so it's like not cool. So could that be killing the planet? And to kill a planet, it has to be alive. You know, like how global warming is like called as killing the planet. Mm-hmm. So, what's happening to Corellia is killing it.
And so you're saying in Corellia's 25th century, Alexandria Earth is going to go back in time to settle.
Whoa! Yeah, god damn it. That's so weird. But that Corellia is the homeworld of the humans and Star Wars. Well,
that's just a theory.
Yeah. The next one.
Did you just talk backwards?
Play it backwards and you find my secret message.
You said Onderon.
I did. The next one, though, is actually Yoda's species' true identity, which this is the last tier, which is Luke Skywalker.
I forgot there was a whole another tier.
This is the last tier. Luke Skywalker's severed head in Darth Vader's mask. Mm-hmm. And that's so Yoda's species' secret identity or true identity. So are they the Wills? Are they the embodied force? What are they?
Or are they the cocoon stage between what was it, Stan Lee and what was the other thing?
What was the other thing?
Scrappy-Doo?
Scrappy-Doo, yeah. That conversation was cursed. This is from was this from last night or from the day before?
It was this week.
We're only on Tuesday.
It was less than 7 days from... It was like this weekend, probably.
Yeah, but basically it was just a cursed conversation where you came up with this crackpot theory. That obviously isn't serious.
No, I think that I came up with Yoda evolving into Stanley on a podcast. But Scrappy-Doo becoming Yoda, who then Yoda species, rather.
Yeah.
Who then becomes Stan Lee.
That's more of the society meme.
Yeah, because Scrappy-Doo is an eldritch being.
In our society lore.
Yeah. I will link both Spotted Slugs and Dawn of the Bread in the description.
Yeah,
I'm not even joking.
They're very iconic.
Yes.
But yeah, so Yoda's species' true identity. Some people say they're the living embodiment of the Force.
Yeah, kind of like the Celestials, I guess, or whatever we are talking about, just not small and green.
Some people also say that they have... they always have high metachlorian counts as well. Which
they say on zero actual proof.
Well, I mean, they were after Baby Yoda's metachlorian count.
Yeah, I get. Well, it's not as high as Anakin's anyway.
Yeah.
So what does that even mean?
I know, and
I guess it means that Yoda's was second highest recorded.
Maybe. Yeah, they said Anakin's midichlorian count is even higher than Master Yoda's. So yeah, but I've also seen people say, and I think we theorized it during our podcast on The Siege, in Mandalorian Season 2, that Yoda and Baby Yoda, like Baby Yoda could be a clone of Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
And so, are all of the Yoda's species the same?
As in, are all of them clones of each other?
Yes. Including Yaddle, who is gender swap.
I think that was literally meant to be a model for young Yoda.
Yeah, which they just used for Yaddle.
And then she disappeared.
She died in Legends. Presumably in canon too.
What if the disappeared from the disappeared is
Oh my god, there's actually duck people.
I mean, I don't know, I haven't seen that yet.
You'll get ready for
Those
it.
are like the only episodes of Clone Wars I haven't seen.
I like them. But yeah.
As
I say every episode.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say that like them all being like clones would
diminish.
Would explain why they're all small and wrinkly, but it's just the species they are. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, but
I don't hate it because like in Stargate, the Asgard species, like,
are they all clones?
They are all clones. Like way back in the day, they were pretty similar to humans.
Yeah.
But through like super excessive cloning, they lost like reproductive function and stuff, which is why they're just naked and you can't see anything, and they just look like Roswell Greys.
I don't think that was a reason.
Most other alien species wear clothes. They don't.
I honestly just thought that went unexplained.
No.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, and like at the end of the original Stargate, they're like, yeah, we kind of went too far. We're kind of like Bilbo in that movie From Your Planet. Like, we're stretched too thin, like a piece of butter.
Do they say that?
No. That's just what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm referencing Mr. Sunday movies again. Like, they were just a piece of butter on a too big a loaf of bread.
I love that line.
It's great. But yeah, they're just like, yeah, this is bad. Like, this is irreversible. Like, we're just going to commit self-genocide now.
Yeah.
And we're going to let humans just inherit our technology.
Huh.
Most of it, anyway.
That's kind of whack. Do you think that's going to be the next Star Wars prequel for Origins of Humanity?
I mean, why not? Like, Bith kind of look like them anyway.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, well, let's just make humans the new Bith and just leave.
Goddamn. But I don't know. I would either way. Whatever is the truth behind Yoda's species, I hope we never know.
It's possible. I mean, the best guess we have is from a G canon, or L canon, whichever, that they are just Kermit.
What?
Yeah, George Lucas just said, "Oh, they're like Kermit."
Maybe he means they're like Kermit, as in they just exist.
They're frogs.
They're frogs.
That's why they're green and jump around.
True jumpy boys. Yeah, I prefer there to be more hints as like an allusion to something happening.
Yeah.
Allusion spelled with an A. But not actually telling us anything. So there's no actual answers. There's just more potential like mysteries.
Yeah, like having Grogu already like raises a lot of questions.
Yeah, you're like, what?
And I don't, as you're saying, I don't know if like giving us answers to those questions is the way to go.
Yeah.
Even though if they don't, there will be probably a lot of outcry because mystery boxes and J.J. Abrams bad. Even though kind of, Jar Jar Abrams, we've been over that. We don't need to go back to that until we do a Rise of Skywalker episode.
Which we're definitely going to do at some point. 3rd year anniversary or 2nd year anniversary. This Christmas.
Episode 100.
Oh.
That's actually closer than 2nd anniversary.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Well, not really. Never mind.
Yeah, but
point being that
mystery boxes, unanswered questions. I prefer that. I just had a thought. What if there's a Yoda species on the Jedi Council for every generation of Jedi?
It's possible.
So you got Yoda, very old, Yaddle, and then Grogu, young. I don't mean generation as in like human generation.
Yeah, that generation of Yoda species.
Let's be honest. Yeah, it could either be generation of human species or maybe the cumulative, the average age of the galaxy is way higher than humans, so it doesn't matter, or something like that. I don't know.
Or shorter, I don't know.
Or shorter. So it could be like generations of Yoda species, and each one there's like one in the Jedi Order, and it could be like one appears. Well, not appears out of nowhere, but it's like they are brought to there.
But I don't know, like having them somewhat mysterious is good, but like the way that this theory is going is making them like a bit too important.
No, I don't.
A bit
don't mean
too
that
mythical and mystical.
They don't need to be important. They just need to be there. It could just be a coincidence. Because
kind of like the caretakers on the Citadel again in Mass Effect, but more important, and there's only one of them most of the time.
Yeah, it's like how in KOTOR on the Jedi Council, there's also a member Yoda species.
Yeah.
And also further back in the Old Republic, there's also, or further forward even in the Old Republic.
The Old Republic is like a sequel to KOTOR.
Yeah. I also mean like before then as well.
Right. Like in the Jedi times?
Maybe not Jedi times. Most of those guys were human.
Back when Tatooine was like a sea planet.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's weird. That's not on this iceberg. Thank God. Let's say, yeah. So Yoda species, who knows? The next one.
The question is like the people who are currently in charge, like your Dave Filoni's and what's his face, Iron Man boy,
Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau. Like the question is, are they
18?
Are they? We're not talking about Sleazebagan of Astromech here.
Okay.
Are they reverent enough to not go too deep with Yoda species? Or are they like arrogant enough to be like, we're good enough to give you an actual answer?
I feel like if it was
maybe not arrogant, but like ambitious.
If it was J.J. Abrams, maybe.
I feel like in J.J. Abrams' case, it's like he doesn't care.
He doesn't care, and then we'll give you an answer.
We'll give you an answer, but who gives a shit?
If he was in the situation he was for Rise of Skywalker, he'd give any answer, it seemed.
Yeah. Whereas like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau and these people,
we don't really know.
I feel like
I hope
they're big fans, and they either want to make it something that won't give you a definitive answer because they don't want to rob people of this experience.
Or they do want an answer.
Yeah, or they're big enough fans they're like, yeah, we're going to make Din Djarin say McClunky.
I hope...
We're going to bring Boba Fett back.
Which is brilliant.
And we are going to explain Yoda.
I hope they don't do that. But
we're
already getting Grogu. Well, we had Grogu for the last 2 years, so I mean, who knows?
2 years.
Yeah, Jesus.
Like, I'm still not decided whether or not I want to know. I kind of do.
I don't.
But I think that I'm intrigued.
I want to know more about the characters, but I don't want to know about the species.
Intrigued sounds cursed.
Does that make sense?
More about the character, less about the species? Yeah.
Yeah. I that's what I would prefer. Now, onto something that definitively makes zero sense.
Mm-hmm.
Disney purchased 1977.
Go on.
I searched on Google, found nada. I don't know what this is about. Is this about time traveling? Bob Iger? I'm gonna search 1977 Disney movies and see what comes out. But like, honestly.
What it sounds like to me is that like Disney just maybe wanted to buy Star Wars or was going to. They did make the very early Star Wars comics.
They did.
But I think that the very first comic came out before the movie even.
I think so. I thought they were Marvel actually.
Did I not say Marvel?
No, you said.
Oh
Disney.
yeah, Marvel wasn't Disney.
Yeah, Marvel wasn't Disney. But in 1977, The Rescuers was released by Disney.
The Mouse People?
The Mouse People. What has that got to do with Star Wars? I don't know.
I don't think that it was like anything to do with the movies they made that year.
Yeah. I couldn't find anything for Disney purchasing Lucasfilm in 1977 because they didn't.
Yeah.
So and every time I search it, it's just like the bloody Disney buying Lucasfilm in 2013. So.
Which was 36 years? Yes.
Yeah, geez. So whatever this means, I don't know why it's so low on this list, considering it's just not even a thing. And yeah. But this one is kind of strange.
Mm-hmm.
A real holiday special never captured.
As in that there were more than one holiday specials, and the first one was never recorded on any medium.
Well, maybe that
it's lost to time.
Maybe that it is lost to time, and this is the second holiday special.
Why? I mean, as far as I know, the holiday special was a big bomb even at its time.
Yes, and George Lucas didn't want it made.
Why would they make two?
Or what if they made
and
one?
And if the first one was any good, or good enough to make two of them, that would be two specials during the same holiday?
Yeah, I think that was unlikely. So perhaps, what if it's actually in reference to the release? So the story goes that the holiday special was released only once, and then they realised how bad it was and never played it ever again. That's how the story goes. So what if it actually was played one? It was played 2 times.
I do not follow.
It's the thing is, real holiday special never captured. So what if it was the real one, quote unquote real? It's actually the first one, the OG playing, but no one recorded it. The only records we have of the holiday special are from its second.
It's possible.
That's possible. And the only other thing I could think of is that when they were filming it, they forgot to turn the cameras on. That's the only. That's the only other thing I could think of.
Oh my god.
So. And then they couple together what is the holiday special in a day, because they lost it all.
Never captured, that has many connotations. If it was saying lost to time, kind of many Doctor Who episodes.
Yeah, that would
make sense, but never captured. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that makes it more elusive.
Maybe. By the way, I want to point out, before we started, when we were planning this episode, I was should we keep it 1 hour long? This is going to be a mini-sode, right?
Mini-sode.
We just passed the 3-hour mark.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm actually kind of invested in this, if I'm honest.
I mean, we're going to call it a maxi-sode.
Yeah.
It's probably, I don't know if it's the best way to debut our news Gunray segment, but why not?
Why not? Who cares?
I could release it separately on YouTube, actually.
Oh, yeah, that could be cool. Clip it.
Yeah.
But the next one is actually related to something that you can also watch, and that's Boba Fett.
Mr. Bob A. Fett?
That's what I think it's a reference to.
I don't think so, because why wouldn't they spell it Bob A. Fett?
Maybe it's a typo. I don't know. It's but that's the only thing I can think of. Unless it's a reference to his shoes. Because they make it. So is it saying Boba Fett's got cybernetic feet that make the jingle jangle sound, and not his shoes?
Ooh, he's like a Star Fox situation.
Yeah.
How everyone in the Star Fox franchise has metal legs.
What?
Yeah, that's a thing. To prevent them from losing consciousness when they're doing.
Oh, that's insane.
When you're doing loops and stuff in a plane, all your blood will go to your legs.
Yeah.
And to prevent you losing blood from your brain, they cut off their own legs and replace them with robots.
Once it just go to their body.
It would probably go lower in the body, but it would take less effort for the blood to go back up.
Yeah.
The blood just doesn't stay there. The thing is it takes a lot of effort to get the blood from the bottom of your legs to your brain.
Yeah.
And if it just collects around your pelvis, it's still harder, but it's not impossible for it to get back up.
I think that's really interesting though. That's a really cool fact. But
I don't know if it's real, but
well, who cares? Is it real for Boba Fett? That's the question. And is that what makes the jingle jangle? Because when Cobb Vanth, Bango Bango himself, wore Boba Fett's shoes, it didn't make the jingle jangle.
And when Boba Fett wasn't wearing his shoes, he did make the jingle
jangle. Exactly. So is the jingle jangle his feet?
Do we know if Django made the jingle jango?
I don't... the jingo jango. I don't think Django Fett made the jingle jango.
What did you just call him?
I'm not going to say Django.
No, it's Django Bango.
Django Bango. Yeah. So did Django Bango make the jingle jango?
This is the name of our episode. Django
Bango's Jingle Jango.
Jingle Jangle.
God damn it. Yeah, so did he? I don't think he did. God damn it. That's made no sense. But yeah, I think only Boba Fett made the jingle jangle.
Also, question is, was it his feet or was it his? He doesn't have a bandolier, but his gear.
Yeah, but he lost most of it, didn't he? Mm-hmm. So if Boba's feet is making the jingle jangle, that actually explains it. Unironically, that actually does explain it.
I hate it, but you're not wrong.
Yeah, it's hold on a second. Is this actually true? We're at the point of the list where it's is the holiday special never actually captured? Is Boba Fett's feet robot left feet that make jingle sound? What on? Yeah. So is it? I mean, it's a possibility.
It is. When you were going about this feet and legs and shoes, what I thought you were going to do, I don't know, was a Tarkin situation.
Yeah, but in what way?
Well, that Peter Cushing didn't wear shoes. He just wore slippers.
He was wearing bunny slippers in the Robot Chicken sketch with Bob A. Feet.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a cool link, but also that's just reminded me. So you know how Slave One, I love the ship, but I'm not too crazy about the name. Mm-hmm. So canonically, and also in Legends, it was assumed, but it was visualized first in The Mandalorian. The holding bay spins round as a little circle, but the only thing that doesn't spin round is the cockpit. So maybe that links. So that part doesn't have artificial gravity because, it's outside of the sphere that has down, doesn't it? So does that mean that Boba Fett does have the Star Fox thing of not having feet?
But that would mean that Django Bango has to jingle jangle as well.
Yeah, that's true.
And young Bango Bango would have to too.
I don't think Django Bango had a jingle jangle Django. But yeah, Bango. Is it Bango Bango? Is Boba Fett?
I'm pretty sure it's Bango Bango.
Bango Bango. Bango Bango has the jingle jango, but Django Bango doesn't. So
maybe Django Bango was just too good for that. He didn't need it.
Yeah, I think it's just more like Boba Fett has the robot feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what if Boba Fett is like that because he has robo feet and they want to call him Robo Feet, so it's Boba Fett.
Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, so this is canon. I'm actually never not gonna forget this. No, that's the terrifying thing.
I mean, I would unironically call the episode to Django Bango's Jingle Jangos.
Yeah, please do.
I know. That's what does that mean?
I don't know.
I'll put it in the description, but I can't call it this.
The next one is I actually don't really understand this at all. Well, to an extent, that's Hyperspace War found footage. Do you know what this is? What is your thoughts on this? Just from the get-go.
that the Star Wars are actually a conflict that actually happened ages ago called the Hyperspace War.
Yeah, but the hyperspace...
And this is the found footage from then?
Maybe. That is actually the better theory I'd heard. Yeah.
I mean, Hyperspace War was only in the supplemental materials and expanded universe.
Yeah.
There is no mention of the Hyperspace War in the movies.
No, but you see that in Palpatine's office there's a mural of the Great Hyperspace War.
Well,
which is the first...
It's not said in the movie.
Yeah, but in Legends it is, and it might be in canon too. But either way, the Great Hyperspace War is a thing in Legends. And
now.
I would prefer it is in canon too.
Was that the first conflict between the Sith Empire and the Old Republic?
And the Old Republic, yeah, it was the first conflict.
Yeah,
so,
Sith Empire as in the species, the Sith.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favourite things, because it's so interesting. It's like a period you never really see. And the tech level is so weird as well. It's like the Republic soldiers, they have pikes. And it's they're not as in the species, but as in a pike. And then they look like ancient Greeks, but they've got all these gold highlights and stuff. It looks really cool. I love the aesthetic for it.
Yeah.
And that's when people were using proto-sabers too.
Yeah, which are sticks that light up, and they have plugs that lead to backpacks and stuff.
No, they're not the sticks that light up. They are actually lightsabers, but they're powered. They haven't got an internal power back. It's
on a belt.
Yeah, it's on a belt with a big wire.
I would have sworn that some of them are sticks that light up.
Maybe. I think that might be a bit before or a bit after it, but at least in the art for this era from the comics, I think it was proto-sabers. Could be wrong.
Maybe it's inconsistent. Maybe it's two things that existed at the same time, like vibroblades.
Yeah, well, the Sith used force-imbued swords during the Great Hyperspace War, which is the same thing as what the Jedi and the Schism people used in the Great Force War on Tython. That they used force-imbued swords.
I still haven't read that. I really need to.
That's the whack one that I think may either be in Visions or Taika Waititi's movie.
I still think that Taika Waititi's movie will be future.
It could be.
The Wills, but maybe not.
Yeah, I want to know more either way. It's a shame that we know more about Rogue Squadron. Well, even then we don't really know that much. We don't know when it's set.
All we know about Rogue Squadron, other than who's directing it and what her intent with it is, is the vague idea of when it might be set, which is
based on the X-wing in the logo,
which could mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it could be because we know they just use stock items for posters all the time.
Not just posters, they use the Victory class from Rogue One for Episode 9.
Exactly.
And just made it bigger and slapped a gun at the bottom.
Yes, sometimes they don't really care. And in a poster, it was technically made by a fan, but he was commissioned to make it, so it's an official poster. And it's got all of the Zeiston class cruisers, covering the poster. But they're not actually Imperial 1. They're not actually based on Imperial 1s. They're based on Imperial 2s. So that means they still got it wrong. Which is so dumb. And then there's also another official poster that has got Palpatine in the background. When it's actually, I'm sure you've heard of this, it's actually just an action figure of Palpatine.
It's pretty noticeable. If you've ever seen an action figure and you look at that poster, you're like, this looks a bit off.
Yeah.
You might not put two and two together that it is an actual action figure, but it just looks... He doesn't look like a person.
Yes, kind of.
Yeah. But not to bury the lead, the X-Wing on the Rogue Squadron logo looks like the X-Wings they use in the sequel trilogy.
Yes.
Which makes us believe that it will be set then as well.
Yes, set post-sequel trilogy, which I would like.
Why post specifically?
I think I've discussed this with you before, but I want to...
No. I'm not asking why you want it to be. Why do you think
because pre doesn't make much sense. Because before the sequel trilogy, that X-Wing isn't the most up-to-date X-Wing. that the most up-to-date X-Wing is the one used by the New Republic Navy, which is the one that the main character, Kuzos or whatever his name is, in Cell's Resistance piloted at the start of the thing. So if it was set before, I don't know. Would you really want to watch a movie set just before? He says, loving Rogue One. Yes. Yeah. Apart from Rogue One and Solo and the prequels, and technically the original trilogy in the case of the sequel trilogy. But I feel like it's either going to be set just after Return of the Jedi or after the sequel trilogy. What about you?
Why would it be after sequel trilogy if it's already out of date when it starts?
Because that's what the Resistance used.
So why wouldn't it be set during the Resistance doing its thing?
Because that's boring. We've seen it in the movies.
Well, not really.
Yeah, we have, because nothing's going to be bigger than what we see in the film.
Well, then it might just go small. You know, we can't get the Starkiller based plans.
I'd be so annoyed if the space battles are even smaller.
But better made.
They were already pretty well made in the sequel trilogy, apart from Episode 9, which... But I mean, like, my main gripe is that there was no big space battle until Episode 9. It was too big and you couldn't tell what was going on. That's not cool. I prefer... To me, the Battle of Coruscant in Episode 3 seemed bigger than the battle in Episode 9, even though, like, technically it wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Possibly because, like, you had, all the ships that you, like, know vaguely the size of and the planet of Coruscant to, like, have, like, a reference point.
Yeah, and you're
whereas in
following
Exegol,
characters.
there's, like, clouds and everything.
And you can't really tell what's going on.
Yeah, there are too many people, but also you're not really sure who's doing and you don't care that much.
Yeah.
And also, like, no one's plan makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit weird.
Yeah.
But I just think that it could be after, like, the mopping up of post sequel trilogy era, and apparently it may also have Wedge Antilles.
With the old one.
The old one, yeah. And he was in retirement before the sequel trilogy.
Because he hurt his leg in Aftermath or
yeah,
something.
but that was retcon, so he actually did fight up to Jakku, and presumably a bit afterwards. But then eventually he did go into retirement and then come back out to save his adopted son who died.
And he didn't give a shit.
He didn't give a shit.
Fancy flying, Lando.
God damn it. J.J. Abrams could have just read his Wikipedia page for the character based on his best friend for Snap Wexley to find out that he's Wedge's adopted son. I mean, come on. But anyway, so that's why I think Wedge Antilles might be training the next generation of X-Wing pilots, which would then be after the sequel trilogy.
It sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I'd be into watching that. But
yeah. And it would, like, kind of fix the issue that at least some people had with Episode 6, how blowing up the Death Star doesn't actually, like...
It doesn't solve the problem.
Yeah. Same with, like, killing the Emperor and Kylo doesn't stop the First Order from existing necessarily.
Yeah, like, I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, and I'd like it if we were able at some point to go in depth in, like, what we would like in a post-sequel trilogy thing. But I want a Warring States period type thing for the galaxy. Like, yeah. Because, I mean, the Republic's gone. The First Order is gone. There is no government. It's going to be chaos.
Like, literally, the government was blown up.
Yeah, everyone's dead. A lot of people fought in this battle, and then they're all going to be saying, actually, I'm better than you, even though we fought in this battle, because now they're all on, like, reasonably the same level, and the people that didn't participate in the battle are going to be, like, treated as dog shit by everyone else.
It's going to be like, maybe the Hutts will take over, maybe the Wookiees will take over, who knows?
Yeah, like in the what was it, the Mad Magazine predictions.
Yeah, maybe someone will send in the clones. What if Camino, bloody... has been making clones all this time.
Oh, of Obi-Wan, OP2!
Oh no!
That's what it's gonna be. Star Wars Episode 10, The Rise of Obi-2. Oh my god.
But it's spelled T-H-O.
Jesus Christ, what, like Dumb and Dumber 2?
No, that was just T-O.
Oh, wow, that's even...
I hate that. Well, no, because one is spelled different than the two would be as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, somehow linking this back to the Hyperspace War found footage. Well, technically it works, because you were saying how Star Wars is found footage of all of these wars. But I think it could also... You never watched the Old Republic lore videos, did you? That were made by Star Wars.
No.
Were made by BioWare. But they were... So there was this Keldor Jedi who was archiving and going through the history of the Republic.
Who are Keldor again?
Plo Koon species.
Cool.
And he was talking about... He was explaining everything that was going on from like Revan and Malak to the Great Hyperspace War to literally just before. Mm-hmm. And... But they use images. Oh, they do. But they use images of all these conflicts and all these people. And like in the way that HoloNet works is that in Rebels it seems that it's like art. It looks like holographic art, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. So if the HoloNet is like it turns you into like a static piece of art, then is the static pieces of art that is used to represent these past conflicts that is in the canonical lore video made by this Keldor Jedi, is that found footage of this conflict? I know that was quite weird, but like I think Voice is looking.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, you're looking a bit like Luke, severed head Luke in a Vader mask. Yeah, that's the exact expression.
You mean bigger Luke's head?
Bigger Luke's mask. Head. Yeah, the one that we didn't really explain.
Because
it's terrible.
I don't want to.
Yeah, we explained it a couple of episodes ago. No, we explained it but also, on a forum I read that apparently there's like a theory. It's a joke, I'm pretty sure, that medieval movies in like our world, not in Star Wars, are found footage of the Middle Ages.
How?
I don't know. But then there's like... It's an assumption of a dumb joke theory that's extrapolated to Star Wars being found footage of these conflicts that, similar to what you were saying, found footage of Star Wars that was found by George Lucas.
In a way, all footage that is made today is found footage.
Yeah, that's true.
If someone finds it.
Whoa, that's pretty deep, bro.
Yeah, like imagine 200 years from now, someone finds this.
Oh my god. Well, and then they'll be very confused when we get on to this next one, which is TLJ sex scene. Now, I had the same expression as you. I thought this was a really dumb joke. And then I actually looked it up on incognito mode because I didn't want that on my search history. And it took me to a Mark Hamill quote. And he joked that there has never been a more intimate scene than when Rey and Kylo Ren held hands. And so he joked on an interview that The Last Jedi had the first sex scene in Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, bloody...
I thought it was originally a joke about, like, Kylo Ren touches Rey's hand, and then because of the rain he got wet, so it was like later virgins, that kind of joke. But then Mark Hamill said it, so therefore it is a god tier joke. I mean, I don't make the rules.
I guess it's a Filoni tier joke, yeah.
Yeah, The Last Jedi has the first sex scene in Star Wars. That's a fact I'm going to be using at the dinner table.
Holding hands before marriage, how dare they?
Yeah, how dare they? Hence why they gave birth to... Who did they give birth to?
Who did?
Rey and Kylo. They gave birth to
who?
to Anakin in the Rey equals Shmi. Remember?
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to say too much about this quote unquote Star Wars sex scene in that one because I wanted to save the reveal for later. But so maybe Rey got pregnant from holding hands with Kylo Ren.
Look,
maybe that's how you get pregnant in Star Wars.
I mean, yeah, if we take into consideration the Chad Anakin conversation we had,
maybe that's why
he and Padme never actually slept together.
But they held hands.
On
Geonosis.
It's too early for that. It was
too
3
early.
years.
That was 3 years before.
Unless forced pregnancy takes longer.
Well, they must have held hands at some point before Padme got pregnant. You're right. But there's a precedent, for them holding hands.
I'm fairly sure they probably held hands at some point in Phantom Menace.
That was the last time they held hands, like both hands, because Anakin got one hand chopped off.
Yeah.
So, or maybe that she didn't get pregnant from that, but because Anakin only has one hand, that means it takes double the time to get pregnant because it's like double hand holding power. To get maybe this is why characters like what's his name, Yarrow Poof are the chattiest of them all.
That's 4
hands. They have 4 hands.
Oh my god, Basilisks must have so many kids.
Oh my god. Yeah, this makes total sense now. Let's move on to the last one.
Finally.
Literally, this is the last one. I thought this is rather poignant. Every episode is the same.
Ring theory, yes.
Ring theory, but also it rhymes. Yeah. And also this podcast, with our ramblings, that was going on for over 3.5 hours.
Well, it's not over yet, but it's not over yet.
It's not over yet.
Not yet, Snake.
Which he does... Rey says, "Murderous snake!" in The Last Jedi, doesn't she?
Not to the snake, though.
She says it Kylo Ren.
Okay. And then she heals the snake just like Kylo Ren!
Oh my god! Kylo
Ren is the snake on
Pasana. I almost said Pasadena. Getting Takodana and Pasana mixed up. What am I, a fake fan?
I almost called it Tabaxi for whatever reason.
Tabaxi? What's Tabaxi?
Like, that's the cat species in D&D.
God, Jesus. Yeah, the Khajiit.
Literally, they're the same as the Khajiit.
Yeah, except Khajiit had more lore to them, I guess.
It's actually the Kazoot.
Yeah, that's ring theory. It's all poetry, it rhymes. I think we talked about it in the previous episode how ring theory's dumb.
Yes.
Because they sort of missed the point.
Do they?
Yeah, it's like how they're saying episode 1 is ring theoried to episode 6. Which, like, you could just say is ring theory to... Well,
the thing with that is that episodes 3 and 4 basically have a climax that takes place in one place.
Yes.
Episodes 2 and 5 in 2 places and 1 and 6 in 3 places or something like that.
No, episode 3 climax... episode... Oh my god. Episode 3's climax is the most disjointed of them all.
More?
Because it happens in Naboo, with Padme's funeral, Death Star being constructed.
No. I think that's meant to apply to just basically the Anakin Obi-Wan scene. Everything after that is like post-climax.
Yeah.
The afterglow, if you will. Whereas in episode 1 you have space battle, Gungan battle, and Theed Palace.
Which is the same as episode 6.
Yeah, which has space battle, throne room, and something else, I think.
Yeah. Whereas episode 9 does not. It has... Oh, but episode...
I think that the ring theories were like conceived before
episode
sequel
7
trilogy.
doesn't it? It has space battle, which is actually an
atmosphere battle,
lightsaber battle, and
I think that's it. I don't think there's a third one.
Well, it has people on the planet.
Well, yeah, but basically anyone who does anything interesting is like the people who are involved in the
the
lightsaber battle.
Well, I don't think ring theory's an actual thing because I think the point is that all the episodes rhyme with each other. Oh, sorry.
Because they're like poetry.
Because it's like poetry, it rhymes. So yeah, Anakin destroys the droids in the droid station and shuts down all the droids. That is similar to Luke blowing up the Death Star.
Yes, because they're also big balls.
And they happen in episode 1 and episode 4. I've just disproved ring theory. So, but like, I'm not denying some of the parallels in ring theory. I just think there's actually more parallels.
Yeah, but the way they try to go about explaining it is too convoluted.
Oh my god, they're like trying to make it seem like it's a philosophy when it's like, it's not. It's literally, it's like poetry, it rhymes, and it does. And that's on purpose.
Yes.
But does the George Lucas trilogies, do they rhyme with the sequel trilogy?
Well, episodes 7 and 4 definitely do rhyme.
Yeah, because it's the same episode, like
basically.
Like we've said.
Episode
8 has the walkers on a salt planet, as opposed to and that's at the end of the movie, and then at the start of episode 5 is walkers on a snow planet.
Yeah, and both of them are also like the bleak midpoint of the thing.
Yeah.
And the episode 6 and 9,
69,
are both meant to be like where Episode 6 is meant to be like where it started, where George Lucas kind of like started like losing his way, like making it like Uber toys with the and stuff.
It's my favourite one.
It is, yes,
because
but it's a bit less good than the one that came before.
I think it's the epitome of everything I love in Star Wars, though.
Whatever that might say about us. Because
I'm not talking about that. I mean Salacious B. Crumb, obviously.
Yeah, and I definitely mean Bib Fortuna.
Bib Fortuna, yeah. Because I really do need a Bib Fortuna.
Yeah, I don't think that neither of us is a huge fan of Leia's outfit. Or whatever what it's called.
Yeah, I mean, wearing a poncho on Endor, I mean, that's just bad fashion taste, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but like, there's episode 8 and 9 have lots of parallels with episode 6 still.
Yes.
Because episode 7 is basically episode 5 and 6.
You mean, wait, you said
episode 8, sorry, is basically 5 and 6.
Yeah, and it's also like the end where people fade away.
Yeah, but also E.C. Henry made a good point that episode 7 is a culmination of a lot of of this original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's got a lot of the main concepts.
Yeah.
So it's like all of the things formed together.
It's like episode 4 if the concepts from 5 and 6 existed already.
Yeah, it's like you merge. So like the start of episode 7 is just A New Hope,
mm-hmm.
and then in the middle you've got the traveling between places. One person gets kidnapped. That's episode 5, and then episode 6 you could say is a climax between the duel and then the battle to blow up the station.
The temptation to join.
The temptation to join. That's episode 6. So I kind of like that idea.
Well, and 5, but mostly 6.
Mostly 6, because...
Yeah, you have Snoke, the Emperor...
Yeah, exactly.
Who only showed up in episode 5.
Yeah.
Or did he?
What do you mean?
When do you first see the hologram of the Emperor? That's episode 5,
That's in episode
right?
5, yeah. That's the first time you see it. In the original, he was a puppet.
No, what?
In the theatrical release of episode 5, he was a puppet.
Didn't know that.
I think he was.
I thought it was just a different man in different makeup.
Oh, it might be makeup that makes him look like a puppet, and I've just got trolled by someone online.
He does look strange.
Yeah, it's not Ian McDermott either way.
Definitely not. And like they didn't even try to make Ian McDermott look similar.
No,
to the original.
which I'm glad they did.
Yeah, because it doesn't look good.
Yeah. Episode 2 has a marriage
marriage.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which is the holding hands between Kylo and Rey.
Yeah, which happens in episode 7.
And in
episode 8, god damn it!
And I guess in episode 5, the closest approximation is not Luke and Leia, is I Love You, I Know, maybe? The closest to marriage.
Because, yeah, and also in episode 5 and episode 6, they both do the I Love You, I Know. But they switch roles.
Yeah.
Which people kind of forget, because I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, but because in episode 6, it's Han Solo who says I love you to
yeah.
Leia. And she's like, I'm cool, I know.
Yeah, I love that film. Oh, it's so good. I want to rewatch it again.
Same.
But yeah, and there's a lot of ties. And
there are a lot of TIE fighters.
Ties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too many in episode 9.
Yeah, oh god.
Too many ties.
No, there's not even that many in episode 9. That's
too many ties from episode 6.
Yeah. Oh, I love them in episode 6 though. God.
Oh, I love when Kylo Ren flies to Exegol in a TIE fighter.
Oh god, I'm gonna end myself.
Endor myself.
But all 3 trilogies have variations on the same type of starfighters, don't they? So you both good guy starfighters, weird X shapes. So you got the ARC 170s.
Only in episode
3, yeah. But then you obviously got X-wings in the rest because sequel trilogy didn't come up with their own shade. And in episode 1, they've got the Naboo starfighters are kind of
X-shaped.
Huh? No, but they look like Ys. Even though Y-wings are...
They look like backwards Y-wings.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Episode... what's it called? 2. Jesus Christ. I'm at the point when I'm forgetting numbers.
We've been at this for over 3.5 hours.
3 hours!
Who's gonna listen to this?
No one. No one's gonna even watch this.
We'll see. Maybe this will be our most listened to episode.
You never know. It is about a meme.
It is.
It's definitely going on YouTube either way.
It's going to take so long to export.
Yeah, sorry. But like, what was I saying? In episode 2, the Naboo starfighters appear, don't they? But you don't really see any other starfighters.
You see them probably in the beginning when they're flying to Coruscant.
Yeah, you see the Naboo starfighters there, but you see the Jedi starfighters, which
the
are
big
like
O.
Yeah, the big O, a Poe. But also they look like A-wings.
Yeah, they do.
They kind of look like A-wings. So that's something. And then with bad guy starfighters, you got the vultures, which kind of look like TIE fighters.
No, they don't.
A vulture from bird's eye view. Look down at a vulture, and it's got the same shape as a TIE fighter. It does.
Sure,
not vaguely, it does.
Because it's a stretch.
Because like it's like the long bits, and then it's got the ball in the center. So a vulture fighter from the top down looks like a TIE fighter.
And yeah, both the hyena bomber and the TIE bomber have two things.
Have the 2 compartments. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like obviously, it's not the same.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that these parallels are made.
So they're different, but they're the same.
Yeah, and then of course, the sequel trilogy just like cut a hole into the original trilogy and crawled in as like ooga booga, I'm the original trilogy by literally just copying the TIE fighters.
Yeah, they put on they put a slightly different skin on those models.
Yeah, one could say.
Am I just calling by Mark Bonanno a model? Why not?
Why not? Yeah, so it's like sequel trilogy isn't an accurate when it comes to this. And also, the same goes to show with like the big spaceships. Like you got the Venator, which is the big cheese wedge. Then the big cheese wedge in the original trilogies.
No, big cheese wedge is going to be in Rogue Squadron when he's teaching all the.
Oh yeah, that's true. But then like they're like pizza slices as well, aren't they? I guess.
Sure.
Venators, Star Destroyers, and the Relentless whatever.
I think they're called Star Destroyers.
The Resurgent Star Destroyers, which are used by the First Order. So it's all the same. It's the same story. One could say it's the hero's journey.
Oh, tying it back.
Yeah,
tying it back.
Tying it back to the start. Oh my god. One could say, one can say, because this is true, we have gone through all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 layers of the Star Wars iceberg.
And in the end, they were like poetry, they rhymed.
They rhymed. I mean, honestly, I wasn't expecting to get this much... I wasn't expecting to almost get my mind blown with any of this. Like, actually, unironically, thinking, does Boba Fett have robot legs, is the point where we're at. And I'm loving it.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah.
We're now sponsored by Burger King.
Yeah, that subverted your expectations. But yeah, honestly, I think this was a lot of fun.
It was,
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like, if you told me that I'm going to spend 4 hours talking about Star Wars theories, I'm going to tell you, what are you talking about? I do that like 4 times a week anyway.
Yeah, but now it's recorded.
Yeah, now we're gonna make money out of it.
What? No, we're not. Let's be honest. But,
no, this is actually the first premium on Air-Deraan episode.
Whoa. Is it?
No, I'm resisting the urge so hard right now.
Yeah, don't say it, mate.
I'm not gonna.
But yeah. So,
I'm not gonna, Ray.
Yeah. From everything from coke nails to...
It's so hard.
Everything from coke nails to Disney buying Star Wars to how you really pronounce Kashyyyk. Kazook.
To 2 different theories about Yoda.
Yeah. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I think with this knowledge, it would be a surprise if we aren't silenced by somebody out there.
There's a TIE silencer just circling us right now.
Oh my god, he's going to drop his bomb any second. And the last thing we can tell you with our big brains after going through this iceberg is to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter.
And whatever podcatcher you're using, we're on most of them.
We're on most of them.
If we're not at your favorite, bloody ask us. You wouldn't be the first one to do so.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't be the first one to ask us about podcasting. And yeah, in general. Be sure to let us feel your thoughts after you've felt ours.
Feel our thoughts. No, feel your thoughts. None of it is lies, no deceptions. Save our subscribe button. Save our dream.
Oh my god, Saw Gerrera had robot legs too.
Oh my god, he did.
Oh my god. Where's that bomb?
Yeah, we should have died ages ago.
We can just stop.
We should stop making these.
You may fire when ready.